Anderson, and we've got this guy, our cousin sub of the day. You hear him not only on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and GKBW or whatever you call that wrestling program that I don't watch.
Yep. Yeah, that's coming up later today, 6 o'clock. Stay tuned to the ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison social media channels as we're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania. GKW with myself, Gabe Neitzel, Jonathan Hood, and Brian Rowitz.
Yes, I was just thinking, gosh, we've got to be close to WrestleMania, which I haven't seen since Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant at the Pontiac Silverdome. What was that? WrestleMania 3?
That was WrestleMania 3, yeah. 38 years ago, Jason.
Shut up. You could also hear this guy constantly on ESPN radio nationally. I even get invited to be on his show once in a while when he's on there. Our cousin sub of the day, Cousin Subs We Believe in Better, from some sort of ante-room adjacent to the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue in the 3rd Street Market Hall in Milwaukee. It is Gabe Neitzel. Gabriel, hello.
So a couple different things. For those watching on the YouTube stream, I have enjoyed the plethora of Milwaukee Brewers hats that you have been wearing. You know, different ones. This one's a little bit more, I would say, traditional. Would probably be, just the 82 Brewers hat you got on today. And number two, because I can see you on video, you trying to join the club here? You growing out a beard? Growing out a little facial hair there? What's going on, man?
No, so Paula and the girls are in Florida. They do an annual trip without me. I stay with the cats and dogs and hamsters and fish.
With the zoo, yep, sure.
Yeah, which, again, I don't want that to sound like I have FOMO, because I absolutely don't. They go to the beach every day. They love it. It's Paula takes this kind of harsh preventative cancer drug after she had breast cancer in 2020, and it really messes up her joints. She was a elite gymnast, which how someone that athletic married me, you can ask all you want how that doesn't make sense.
It's good on you, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'll kick to my coverage. I've heard that many, many times over the last 20 years. But when she's in warm weather, it really helps her joints. So they go, the girls are missing a bunch of school because, who cares about school? So they're gone for like a week. And so since they're gone and since the amazing people at News 3 Now, Channel 3, WISC in Madison, don't seem to really mind if I'm clean-shaven or not to be on television, I've been rolling with this. But I do think I'm going to shave today. That is my intention. We'll see if I get there.
You got to keep it going. You got to see what happens here, man.
No.
You got to see where it goes.
Now, look, all right. So we've got I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of Packers stuff to get to.
Plus, there is. Yeah, we talked about it on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
We did, and I talked about it with Strofe while we were recording monthly Wildy, which is what we do in the off season. And we've got Kayla Karius, the Horizon League Coach of the Year, scheduled to appear at 11:15 to talk a little UWGB and Dan in Brothertown. But you know this. I don't know how long ago this was. You and I have been teammates and friends for a very long time. Yep. I don't know how long ago it was that you went fully committed to the beard. And I know there was a point where I was starting to think, oh my God, he's joining a ZZ Top cover band. It's getting so long. But at some point you went from clean shaven, handsome young Gabe, and your wife, my understanding, really prefers you as with a beard. Yes?
Yeah, yes. So, and the reason why it gets longer and longer now, I used to keep it, pretty, I would shave it and not completely shave it off, but it would be a lot tighter. And a few years ago, I went to Scotland, and I was there for a week. However, my luggage got lost. And it eventually reappeared 35 days later at my front steps here in Milwaukee.
I remember this.
But because I was going to be in Scotland for a week, so I took my beard trimmer there because I was, you're going to kind of keep it clean while I was there. And then over those 35 days, I was hopeful that everything would return, so I really just started to let it grow. And then the first time I had shaved it kind of a little bit tighter, my wife said, you can keep that a little bit longer if you want. So she's the one who encourages the longer beard and what we have today.
So at some point, though, you went through the itchy, scratchy, uncomfortable phase of a beard. I can't get past that. Like a few years ago, I did No Shave November or Movember, for men's health and everything else. And I got, not quite the, dare I say, porn stash level, but I just grew the mustache. and
Sure.
it looked terrible, and B, like, it just irritated me. So this is about a week and change. That's about as far as I can go. And the other problem, as I don't think you can see this on the video, but there's a lot of gray. And so it almost looks like I've got like a goatee because it's dark there, but then it's gray elsewhere. Yeah. It's like the Mike McCarthy beard. Problem. If I stuck with it, I'd look a lot like Coach Mike. So it'll be gone sooner rather than later.
I got to tell you, because last year, and I'll be doing this again, so stay tuned for all the different wacky, zany things we'll do on KBN when I join them. But I am raising money once again, along with Stephen Watson and Greg Matzik for the Mac Fund and the Ringer event that they have every year. So we're going to come up with a lot of fun stuff, to do for that. And, this has resulted in, over the years, Ben Brust getting slapped in the face. It's resulted in Josh DiMaggio getting a tattoo of Homer, and it resulted in me shaving my beard last year because we raised enough money. And when I had shaved off the beard completely, it'd been the first time in a decade I was like completely clean shaven, and I did not like how cold my face got. That was cold. That was kind of because it happened when we do that in April. Yeah, and it was a bad April last year. It was a chilly April. So like the first day I went outside without the beard and just got punched in the face with the cold. That was not fun.
Jesse, have you ever grown a beard? A legit beard?
What I have is the most I've ever grown. So, no, I can confidently say I've never grown a grizzly beard like old lumberjack Gabe over there.
Are you intrigued? Would you be willing? For Gabe's, what if we did a reverse Gabe? What if our contribution was
grow beards? Oh, okay.
We grew beards. Who would last longer, me or Jesse? Probably Jesse. I think he's got more determination than I do.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if you're giving up after a week, I got more faith in Jesse that he would keep that thing going.
I could make it a while. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I tell you what, I'll do pretty much anything you want once you get out and try to golf that 200 challenge that Tausch has been trying to get you to do for almost a decade now, Jason.
Yeah, right after you do that 300 challenge on the bowling.
And we're actually going to do that one.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to all those things. I'm looking forward to the Ringer, and you obviously do great work for the folks at the Mac Fund. You also do great work on the radio. And we spent some time this morning, and we'll get to this coming up because I am going to prove to Mark Tauscher as he travels to Chicago that we could stay on the clock more effectively when I'm with a national radio host and not with a stream of consciousness genius that he is. But we did talk about the Packers and the Javon Hargrave trade. Pickup. We'll get into that coming up. I just want to ask you this: do you think that Brian Gutekunst is okay? Like, do you think that he may have fallen and hit his head?
Sure.
Is there a concern about his well-being because they have now added not one but two 30-plus outside additions? And by the way, our guy Benjamin St. Juste is, I believe, 29.
Whoa!
So,
and it's worth pointing out the restructure that they did with Aaron Banks. That's probably going to keep him in Green Bay past his 30th birthday.
Yeah, because he's turning 29 on September 3rd. Mm-hmm. Who are you, and what have you done with Gutey?
Blink twice if you're in Milwaukee. Like, I mean, do we have to send somebody over? Do you have to drive over there and start wandering the halls of Lambeau Field to see if you can find Brian Gutekunst?
Well, now that Mark Murphy's not roaming those halls and avoiding me in them, I suppose I could. In all seriousness, and you and I talked about this morning on your show, I do not want to be a hypocrite and I don't want to be two-faced, but I'm torn on this because I also am leery whenever someone starts doing things they don't normally do, right? And when Gutey talked to us in early February, when he finally spoke after the season, and I asked him that infamous line of demarcation question, and he said, there is no line of demarcation. And obviously there was, right? There was. Your kicker and your long snapper were the only two people on your team that had celebrated the 30th birthday. Now, suddenly, when he's doing this, I want to give him credit for being willing to adjust, but it also makes me wonder about doing something that goes against your philosophy, right? Like, Gabe, this is what I suggested they needed to do. Maybe I'm just so shocked that anyone would listen to me. And I don't, by the way, I don't think he listened to me. I do not think he's doing this. Hey, Wilde made a good point.
So you don't think
we do.
So you don't think that he didn't realize that there was a line of demarcation, then went back at the roster and went, Jason's right, we got to get some older guys on. You didn't think that happened? Because I'm willing to give you credit.
Little
if you want to take the credit, Jason, I will give it to you.
Yeah, you opened his eyes at that press conference.
Self-scout? Yeah.
No, I don't think somewhere on Gutey's phone he has his version of what you guys play when Chewy gets something right. Oh, my God, Wilde was right? Wilde was right. No, I don't think I am not that arrogant to think that I influenced it. But my point, Gabe, is when someone starts doing something that you feel like they were vehemently opposed to, it does make me wonder. Because, Tausch always says, if you make exceptions, sooner or later you end up with a team full of exceptions, right? And they've made an exception with Zaire Franklin, and they've made a big-time exemption or alteration to their philosophy with Javon Hargrave, even though he makes perfect sense, which we'll get into coming up.
I think I guess this is my hope, is that Gutey realized maybe he needed to change just a little bit. Again, not that you need a roster full of guys who are over their age 30 season. I think that's something that you have, pointed out. Hey, you just need a couple of these guys. When you have a loss like they did against the Bears, it's not all on one guy, right? It's so many things went wrong in that playoff game in Chicago for them to lose that game. There's plenty of blame to go around. And what I'm hoping is when they got together, they did these extensions, you have a new leader in Ed Policy, that maybe the communication's just better between Brian Gutekunst and his head coach and Matt LaFleur. Because LaFleur's kind of hinted at Jason over the last few years that he wouldn't mind having a couple of veterans in that locker room. And now that you have, it's also worth noting, I think, that you have these guys that are Jonathan Gannon guys in Zaire Franklin and Jonathan Hargrave. Like, that's worth pointing out because that's going to help the transition. Having veterans that know what Jonathan Gannon is looking for on defense, those guys are going to be able to help the transition on the defensive side of the football. But I think he's realizing, hey, we do need some of those veteran guys. That when the young guys are going through some of these lessons, it's nice to have the veterans that can help lead them through in these games. It's something, again, that LaFleur has talked about. And again, I don't think you're going to go out and sign a bunch more now in free agency.
Nope.
But I think he's realizing, hey, we have been the 7 seed the last 3 years. Year 1, it was great because we weren't really expecting to make the playoffs. Year 2, little disappointing. Year 3, a lot more disappointing, even when you factor in the injuries, especially because you had the Bears on the ropes and had an opportunity to go into the second round of the playoffs. So I think he's looking inward and going, okay, what can I do to change? Is there something I can do to help us get to where we want to go? And I think he's realizing having a veteran or two is not a bad thing on this roster.
Which is exactly what I said, but I am not taking credit in any way for him doing that. I would add that I think what we've seen from him has been him adjusting, and that is a good thing. Not just with this, but look, he's not the best at admitting when he's wrong, right? I like to think I'm very good at it.
I feel him on that.
Yeah, I like to think I'm very good at it because Lord knows I have enough opportunities. I'm married to someone who doesn't listen to the show who struggles with that. But he admitted that he was wrong on Nate Hobbs, right? Because you know what he could have easily done, Gabe? He could have Jimmy Graham'd Nate Hobbs. Remember, they cut Jordy, which, again, I don't think they're going to bring Jordy back in this veteran trend. But they cut Jordy, they signed Jimmy Graham, and the only bigger mistake they made than signing Jimmy Graham was bringing him back for a second season. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we hear all the time, though. That's what I hear all the time, at least from Chewy. Like, one of his favorite things, and one of the things he said was a strength of Ron Wolf, when he knew he made a mistake, he moved on from it. Right? Like, he was, okay, this guy can't play. It's not going to help our team. I'll figure out the back end and the money deal of it, but we got to move on from this guy. If this guy's not going to be able to help us, we're going to move on. And that was a strength of Ron Wolf, who's now in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, good on Gutey for going, hey, Nate Hobbs is probably blocking some younger guys that we want to play, so let's just make sure that's not even an option next year.
All right, I want to get into this Hargrave signing, which I deemed the biggest no-brainer of the entire NFL free agency window. We will talk about that. Gabe Neitzel is in as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
He's a husband, a dad, owner of a gym. He's also a police officer. Staying strong and pain-free isn't optional. It's safety. That's why David Boardman's a QC Kinetics patient.
My job is dependent on my physical ability and my physical fitness so that I can protect myself, so that I can go home safe to my family at the end of the night.
But severe knee pain nearly took that away. Doctors said surgery, shut down the workouts. David needed another option. That was QC Kinetics. They told him,
we're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
They used David's own healing tools in his blood to help restore his knees. Regenerative treatments right in the office.
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week.
Trust the team helping active people avoid surgery. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience. With a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
A couple of comments from the YouTube section before we get to Javon Hargrave. BJ, if Jason was GM, would Jordy Nelson's contract still have a few years left to go? Yes. I make that joke all the time. Very fair. Charles Woodson also most likely paired with Xavier McKinney in the back end. Secondly, Matty Ice asking... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wrong guy. Scott, speaking of Hobbs, how about the Packers thank you post to him and Bakhtiari saying for what? If you saw this on social media, I got a good chuckle out of it. But yes, I don't understand, Gabe, the farewell social media post to players that you choose to get rid of.
I compared it to, I don't know if you remember the NBA coach by the name of Dwayne Casey.
I do remember him.
Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year for the Toronto Raptors. I can't remember the specific year. I don't know if it was 2019 is what I want to say, maybe 2018. And after Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year and the Raptors unceremoniously bounced out of the playoffs, they fired Dwayne Casey. Now he was named Coach of the Year after he was fired. And then the Toronto Raptors still decided on social media to put up a congratulations Dwayne Casey for winning Coach of the Year after he had already been fired. So I kind of look at it the same thing. They just fired Nate Hobbs. Like, he doesn't need your thank you or appreciation. Like, it's just completely unnecessary.
I don't mind it. I actually think that people should start doing this when they break up with people in relationships. You should post a thank you post for your time in a relationship with someone. I like to thank Ashley for her time. The last 2.5 years were great. It's time for us both to move forward. I wish her all the best.
Jesse.
But what if you don't actually wish the ex all the best? What if it's a contentious breakup?
If Becca kicked you to the curb, you would not want her posting that on social media.
I had a great run. Want to thank Jesse for all of his time. Yeah.
I'm going to allow him to occasionally see Mo the dog.
Would it make me feel a little bit better in the grand scheme of things? It might.
No, it would not. I assure you it would not.
So let's get into the Hargrave signing, which I call the biggest no-brainer of the free agency period. Now, look, he is 33 years old. No one thinks that this is Jalen Carter in his prime, which I know some fans were hopeful of. But look, he was productive last year. He was productive when he was healthy in San Francisco. He tore his triceps in 24. I think he only played 3 games that year, but he was good for them in 23. Mark Tauscher would say in my ear right now, the league comes at you fast. So the fact that he was great, and I mean great, during his 2 years with Jonathan Gannon has to be tempered with the fact that was 2021 and 2022. Trayvon Diggs was great in 2021 also. You didn't see the Packers keeping him around after his brief cameo late in the year, right? So I don't want to make this sound more than it is, and maybe this is just a one-year rental too, right? Just like Franklin could be. Or maybe he's here for both years of this deal. But what did you think right away when this news broke literally less than an hour after it became official that he'd been released by the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm with you. It made a ton of sense. And if you're wondering, well, why did the Vikings release him if he was that productive for them? Because they set up the contract last year to basically be a 1-year deal masquerading as a 2-year deal. He would have had a $21.7 million cap hit for the Minnesota Vikings, which is why they released him. Right?
Well,
they weren't going to pay that. He's not worth that on your salary cap.
That and the fact that their salary cap was all jacked up. Right? Like,
yes.
They could have theoretically, if they had cap space, reworked his deal and kept him. They could have done that, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Aaron Jones to keep him. But you're right. It's not that he was a bad player. It was that he had a bad contract.
Yep. And that's the way these things work, especially when you get to this age. Like you get contracts the Packers gave him a 2-year deal, Jason. It's a 1-year deal masquerading as a 2-year.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe he plays well enough and the Packers decide, yes, we're going to keep him around. But the Vikings did the same thing, and the way that they set it up, it was just going to be too big of a cap hit. But he's still a productive player. And I'm not expecting him to be the guy that he was his first year in San Francisco or those 2 years that he was with Jonathan Gannon in Philadelphia. But he's still, again, it's Pro Football Focus, so take it for what you will. But he's still he graded out higher on Pro Football Focus than any other Packers defensive tackle. So he instantly becomes their best DT. And what I like, Jason, is he's been healthy. Outside of the triceps tear, he's playing 15 or 16 games each and every year at a really hard position. So this is the guy that, to me, would make sense of, okay, here's who you take a risk on at the 30-plus age position. Because they took the risk on Nate Hobbs last year. He was always beat up.
Right.
For the Raiders. Like, he was always dealing with injury. That's not the case for Hargrave outside of the year he tore his triceps, which is obviously a huge injury that required surgery. But he's willing to play. He's probably playing through some stuff, and that's exactly what this defensive line needed.
He also had more quick pressures last season than Rashawn Gary did. Which I thought was an interesting stat.
Have you? I mean, again, we're in it with the Packers, so we see the good, we see the bad more than people coming in and just kind of parachuting in from a national perspective. But Jen has been telling us, she's been listening a lot to the Rich Eisen Show right here on ESPN Wisconsin, following this program, and Rich has just been singing the praises of Rashawn Gary. Like, this guy's a consistent performer. Like, no, he's not consistent. That's been the big
No, he's consistent. He actually is
he
consistent.
Performs early in the season and then doesn't perform at all in the last half of the season. Okay, I guess that's its own form of consistency, Jason.
Look, my take on Rashawn Gary is that he is not a terrible football player. Like, I think there's a view of him. There's two extremes, it feels like, with him. There is a small group of apologists that want to say he's never, he tore his ACL in 2022. And he was on his way to a double-digit sack season. It's 2026, and we've seen players. And look, every knee injury is different. I don't pretend to know Rashawn Gary at all. I covered him for 7 years. There was a time in there where we weren't in the locker room because of COVID. I don't know him, but I'm sorry. Like last year, when I asked him about how his season was going, and he just glowingly glazed himself on his performance, I was like, what?
Self-glazed?
I just got to keep being great. What? But he also is not a bum. Like, he's not a bad football player. But he... So, look,
Speaking of social media posts, Jason, did you see the Cowboys posted a welcome to Dallas? And he was signing something. I don't know what he was signing. He wasn't a free agent acquisition, Jason. He was a trade. What was he signing in that picture? I couldn't figure out.
I assume he was signing some sort of AI-generated piece of paper.
Yeah, Josh DiMaggio said maybe a W-2. Maybe he's just filling out the tax paperwork for playing now in Dallas. But Rashawn Gary is a solid football player. But the problem is, when you say the things that he said about himself to you, when he talks about how great he is, when he then we have eyes. We could see him loafing and not giving 100% effort on the field. So you do all those things. You don't have the production. And on top of it, you're getting paid to be an A player. And one of the biggest chewy things that I have bought into over the years of working with Chewy on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is in order to win a championship, you got to have some C players play like Bs. You got to have some Bs play like As. But you need your A players to play like A players, especially if you're paying them. And he did not perform like an A player. And ultimately, you get that contract. That means something. That money represents that you have to live up to that expectation, which he never did, which is why the fan base turned on him. Because he thought he was great. And he told everybody who would listen that he thought he was great.
Yeah, to Chewy's point, you know when you really need your A players to play like A players? When you lose your A-plus player at the same position. And if I'm going to be critical, and look, you could tell me how he stopped the run, and you can tell me, like Gutey, about his 60 pressures that not even the Packers' own statistics in his bio have him for 60 pressures last season. But when you lose Micah Parsons, that is when you have to, like Greg Jennings in that video game, put the team on your back. And I'm not saying that he should have had a season like Myles Garrett, but to go the final 10 games without a sack, like there's just no no explanation for that.
After telling everyone, hey, okay, yep, I know Mike is out. Just watch us. Watch to see what we do as a defensive unit. Watch what I do over these next. All right, Rashawn, we watched. I was not impressed.
And look, if he I will be the first to admit that if he goes to Dallas and has like a 12-sack season with them this season, hey, he did have it in him, and I was wrong. I don't have any evidence to tell me that he's capable of that, though. None. Zero.
No, because outside of the year he tore his ACL, like he was on track. He was on pace. Certainly
he was on track this year, too.
Until he wasn't. That's kind of the way it goes with Rashawn.
And it does feel like, and I don't want to get back into the Hargrave discussion, but it does feel a little bit like we have made excuses for, like, he was the number one recruit in the country. And remember when they drafted him, all we talked about was, well, he was facing double and triple teams all the time at Michigan, right? And that's why his numbers were not what you would expect them to be for the 12th overall pick. Like, it just feels like we always kind of made a lot of excuses for his minimal or less than what we would have expected, I should say, production.
Well, and then they're asking him to stand up, and he's going to be better with his hand in the dirt, Jason. We know those were excuses that we made for him over the course of his time in Green Bay. And again, is he a solid player? Does he belong in the NFL? Absolutely. Like, 7.5 sacks is nothing. Like, 7.5 sacks is still decent production, but it's not superstar production. And he fancies himself a superstar. So
and
that's where the
and paid like
is.
one. And he was paid like one.
Correct.
All right, we need to stay on the clock so I can prove my point. We're off to a rough start. Adam in DeForest does point out that Rich Eisen is a Michigan man. Thus the praise for Gary. That's probably part of it. That's fair.
A lot of people pointing that out on the text line and YouTube and everywhere. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to point out to you that you don't need to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped. Your next getaway is waiting right in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. On top of that, if you're hungry, you've got options and a lot of them. Premium steaks at Dream Dance Steakhouse, pizza, burritos, and quick bites at the Marketplace. Rock and Brews for a high-energy vibe. Canal Street Cafe. Ruyi Asian Kitchen. Cream City Coffee Company. Food and drink specials happening all the time. Planning a wedding, birthday, or anniversary? Their event spaces will make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, a full night out all in one place. Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More with Gabe Neitzel, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide.
Marquette's season came to a close at Madison Square Garden with an 89-87 loss to Xavier in the Big East tournament opener. The Golden Eagles fought back from a double-digit deficit and tied it late, but couldn't finish the comeback. Sophomore Royce Parham led the way with 22 points and 9 rebounds, battling inside and delivering in key moments, while freshman Nigel James Jr. added 18 points, continuing his strong play down the stretch of the season.
James on a drive to the basket.
Shoots
and scores. Counted in a foul. Unbelievable. We still have 12.4 left. You couldn't ask for it to be that good.
Marquette ends the year 12-20 overall and 7-13 in Big East play.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official bank of Marquette University.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you can roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16,000 in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
For those of you wondering, and I saw this question asked in a couple of different YouTube comments, according to overthecap.com, the Packers are $29 million under the cap still. Now, I don't know if we don't know enough of the details. I don't know if they're including the Hargrave signing or not on that. It doesn't look like that's been added in just yet, and that's because we don't know the structure of it. But they'll still have plenty of cap space to do some maneuvering. And again, remember, the cap space that they clear with Nate Hobbs by designating him a post-June 1 cut, they don't get that until June 1. So I assume that move is probably with an eye on an extension for a Tucker Kraft or a Christian Watson or whoever it might be, which is a whole nother discussion we can have about
Why? Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry. I cut you off. I pulled the Tausch there.
You national guys, man, you just think you can just run roughshod over the rest of us.
When's the last time someone on the show apologized for interrupting Jason?
The last time would be never.
Wow.
Is that the first time it's ever happened?
What just happened?
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they utilize this cap space for, because I thought it was fascinating that there was this, and I'm sure you saw this, Gabe. It felt like among Packers fans on social media, there was like a giddiness of, they're marshaling their resources to do something big, whether it was Jalen Carter, whether it was Reek Woolen, who signed a 1-year deal, by the way, which I didn't quite understand. But that didn't materialize. And the big signing right now is, depending on your perspective, Benjamin St. Juice or Javon Hargrave. Now I'm done.
Yeah, so with Reek Woolen, Adam Schefter said on our show today on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy that he's actually comparing the Rasheed Walker situation to what Reek Woolen dealt with. Reek went out into free agency. His market didn't develop the way that he thought it would, so he signed a 1-year deal to try to bet on himself for next year, and he thinks that's what's ultimately going to happen now with Rasheed Walker, since that has not come to fruition. So when I saw it's going to be a post-June 1 cut for Nate Hobbs as well. Okay, now that money's going to be available then. But my question, Jason, is I know the Packers just typically do their extensions shortly before or early in training camp. We've seen that with how many ever players at this point for the Packers. Why don't they do those earlier in the offseason?
Yeah, I don't know. That is another trend away from something. Yes, a great point, Gabe.
Because that's just what they've always done. I've accepted that's the way that they've always done it. I just don't know why they do it that way.
Yeah, so what was it? Was it late in the 17 season? Like toward the end where we weren't quite sure who was running the organization? When they extended Corey Linsley and Devontae Adams before the season ended. That was interesting, right? Those guys both were really, really good players. They ended up being Pro Bowl players. It was smart, and I keep hearing Gutey's voice repeatedly saying well, now it's 1.5. Before it was 1.6. Now he says 1.5 players that are retained on a second contract from each draft class league-wide. Again, I would argue that the draft and replace, as opposed to draft and develop approach that they seem to take, generally speaking, they still need more than 1.5. And they've got 2 right now from the 2022 class in Zach Tom and Sean Ryan with multi-year deals. 2 other guys that are on 1-year deals at the moment in Devontae Wyatt and Christian Watson. I don't have a good answer for you. The Jair got done in October, I think. Rashawn Gary definitely got done in October. Zach Tom's got done in camp
in December.
November, late November. Yep, I think late November for Bakhtiari, and then less than a month later, roughly a month later, he's tearing his ACL in practice. So I again,
but and I understand the Jordan Love deal was a little more complicated, but that got done. Obviously, he missed a couple of days of practice, so that got done during training camp. Yeah, very rarely do those extensions happen kind of now in the free agency period or even the dead period where there's not a lot of, player movements leading up to training camp.
I will be curious to see what they do because there are some reasons for pause, right? I think we both agree that Tucker Kraft is a stud. How quickly do you sign a guy coming off an ACL to an extension? I don't know the answer to that.
Well, again, an extension of this
magnitude.
Length? Yeah, because, I mean, they 9 months after the extension, or they extended Christian Watson last year, about 9 months after his
but
ACL.
a one-year placeholder
But it was a one-year
extension.
Deal.
Right.
Yes. Versus this is going to be probably one of the top tight end contracts in the NFL. So probably wait till you get closer to camp on that one just to make sure everything's going well. And I would understand being hesitant and wanting to make sure everything's checking out given the David Bakhtiari situation.
Even though he's a great player.
Where that is the outlier, yes. Mm-hmm. And even though the Bakhtiari situation when it comes to knees is the outlier, when you're spending this kind of money, you just got to make sure that this ACL is not going to be another outlier and that Tucker Kraft should be or expect to be fine. But I would expect that one to get done before training camp, yeah.
And then maybe we can do this coming up next, but the Watson, Wicks, Reed conversation, I don't really particularly want to talk about Jaden Reed with you. You hater.
Yeah.
But
I point out facts, Jason. What you do with the facts that I point out and how you interpret them actually says more about you than it does me.
Yeah, that
got you good.
So much for apologizing for interrupting me. Now he's getting after me for questioning.
That's more like it around here.
Yeah. But they can't let them all walk. And I said this to Tausch yesterday or earlier in the week. You know, I am a Christian Watson stan. I am. I will admit that. I was also a Quay Walker guy. I'm eager to see what he does in Vegas because it doesn't seem like it really works out for anybody in Vegas that goes to Vegas. But, as much as I like Christian Watson and everything that he's about, giving him $114 million or whatever the Indianapolis Colts gave Alec Pierce, given his injury history, I'd be apprehensive about. At the same time, I think he is special. And when he's healthy, he is really special. So they've got some decisions to make there. We will get further into all these things as we roll on. Gabe, how do you think things have gone so far, would you say? I mean, you're apologizing for interrupting, but then you're kind of getting after me a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the way the show should go, right? Like, I apologize, put my hand up when I was wrong, and, but you got to have a little... There's got to be a little tension throughout the course of the show, a little disagreement, a little pushback.
Yes, there are varying degrees of disagreement and pushback and tension on this show from a day-by-day basis. So today, I think we've got a healthy amount. You know what you need to do? And look, I'll tell you this. When it comes to the Bucs, nothing against Dave Kane, who is phenomenal, called the Virginia National Championship for Tony Bennett's team. But the two guys that are my friends are Justin Garcia and Gabe Neitzel. And when they're on the call of a Bucs game, I use my little SiriusXM app where they've got the Bucs channel. Oh, luckily I've been in the car for when you guys have called games. So I've gotten 95% of each of those games when you guys were calling them when Dave was under the weather. It's awesome. The only thing that's better from an audio perspective with the Bucs is Bucs Plus. And the new season of Behind the Bucs, the podcast that you'll find on the Bucs Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Right now, there was one that Marcus Johnson did. Now it's the Bucs against the world, about that 87 team that played in those games. Was that at the Mecca, the old Mecca? I assume the world came to us. I should listen to it. I should hear Charlie Behrens narrating it. You can do that right now on Behind the Bucs, presented by Gallagher. Go to Bucs.com/plus, the Bucs app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucs, presented by Gallagher. More with Gabe, our cousin sub of the day, next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
You bid, they benefit. It's that simple. WTMJ's Kristen Bry here to tell you that WTMJ is hosting a silent auction for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. And the auction is live now. Bid now at WTMJcares.com. Bid on game-worn Giannis gear, a signed bat from Brewers slugger Andrew Vaughn, and a golf foursome at Morningstar Golf Club. You score something amazing, local families get the diapers they desperately need. Auction closes Friday. Bid now at WTMJcares.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
The Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, presented by Old Fashioned Golf, is back at the Mosh Performance Center in Franklin, March 13th through the 15th. The show has been reimagined with a simple goal: turn it into Wisconsin's ultimate golf party. That's why Vibes Golf Club, a group of golf-loving former Badger football players, including Melvin Gordon, will be at the show all 3 days. Plus, Bridgestone will be doing some ball fittings, and Carl's Place will be powering Simulator Alley. To learn more, log on to GreaterMilwaukeeGolfShow.com.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhardt Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhardt Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spirit wear is vital. That's why Burkhardt Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spirit wear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spirit wear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhardt.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
Homer here with a message about 3 Pillar Senior Living Communities located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. 3 Pillar Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community: active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. 3 Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on 3 Pillars at 3pillars.org.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I'm not going to go so far as to say that Jesse has a genius idea for the top of the 10 o'clock hour, but he's got a good idea. And I'm going to turn it over to him when we start the 10 o'clock hour to explain what he's got planned. I want to answer or ask you and have both of us answer a question from Tom on the Twitter feed. It's hard to balance all the ways people can reach us, right? Carbless Talk and text line. Obviously, we have guests who join us on the Yingling guest hotline. You can tweet at us. You can. Jesse doesn't check the Facebook messages nearly enough, quite frankly.
I do like Facebook, though. You know me. I'm an old school
but you
cat.
don't respond to people. I constantly get alerts that say, so-and-so is waiting for a response from Wilde and Tausch. What's your deal?
New Year's resolution. I'll do better at it starting now.
Starting on March 12th.
No, do a New Year's resolution.
Well, everyone gave up on them already. Everyone that's got a New Year's resolution gave up on it. I'm just starting mine a little later to have a better chance at success.
It's like starting the Wilde and Tausch show on YouTube and just starting it when you start it. You don't have to start at 9 a.m. It's the convenience. You can comment.
On YouTube, they're all doing a show about David Bakhtiari's tweet. So if you want to, at any point, discuss that further, they're doing an entire show in the YouTube comments on Bakhtiari.
And the ridiculousness of the firing someone, like Gabe said, and then thank you for your service.
Great.
Nevertheless.
When somebody gets fired from Good Karma Brands, they just send out an email and be like, hey, if you want to contact this person, here's their personal email, but they don't work here
that
anymore.
stinks, too. If someone's been here for like 10 years, like they should get more than that. It's a nice little send-off.
I'm not going anywhere near that discussion because I want to keep my job. So let's get to Tom.
I'm just saying what our procedure is. That's all I'm doing.
That's all you're saying. It's a good thing you're a big star. So Tom asks, question on the Packers draft philosophy. Why invest a first rounder in an off-the-ball linebacker who did show promise and then not sign him to a second contract? What would it take for them to offer him a second? Well, they did again, as he said to me on the record, which players never do. He had an offer on the table in like late September, early October from the Packers. Quay said it on the record. And my understanding is that they were still trying to re-sign him after the season, and then they found out what other teams were potentially going to pay him, and they said, too rich for my blood. And that's how he ends up in Vegas. But to Tom's question, it seems like a lot, and it takes time for guys to develop, so why spend the first-round pick there to begin with? Gabe, I said this to Tausch, and I don't come up with great ideas very often on this show, but I think Gutey's track record now would tell us that his philosophy is not draft and develop, it's draft and replace. And unless you're really special, we're going to draft somebody else then and have him on a rookie contract for 4 years instead of paying you because you're good but not special at a position.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there, Jason, because and I don't look at Quay Walker as a bust for the Packers because they still got 4 pretty good years out of middle linebacker play on a cheap contract, which is what a first round, and again, would they have preferred that he developed into a stud that they didn't mind paying the way I think that they could potentially pay Edgerrin Cooper in 2 years? I think, yes, they would have preferred that. He didn't. He's still a solid player, but they didn't want to pay and invest in that position specifically. And I don't know if this is a Ron Wolf thing. There have been very select times where the Packers have invested in that position, obviously drafting A.J. Hawk, 5th overall. Quay's a first-round pick, but they haven't thrown a ton of money at that position. They haven't spent, now he's the top player at this position. That's not a position that the Packers historically have. I don't want to say they don't value it, but they don't want to pay top dollar for it.
No.
And Quay Walker got top dollar, and it was a thank you for your service situation for him. They moved on to Zaire Franklin, who is considerably cheaper and still can provide some veteran leadership at that position. So that's why I think they moved on from Quay, because they liked him, obviously, but they didn't think that he was, the guy that he is being paid to be now in Las Vegas.
And I will say that of all the players that have been part of this exodus, he's the one guy that if I was a betting man and I was going to be nervous about one guy popping after the Packers let him go, he's the guy. I'm not super duper confident that he's going to do that, but I feel like he was finally getting it together the last 2 years and playing like I thought he was capable of.
The Packers have seen, obviously, in their routes to try to get to Super Bowls, whether it was against San Francisco, whether it was against Tampa Bay in the earlier part of this decade, and a little bit in 2019, obviously, as well, what really good inside linebackers can do. But I'm not putting him on the Dre Greenlaw level. The linebackers that the Buccaneers had in 2020, he's not on that level. He's probably the level below. And you got to be up on that level, I think, for the Packers to pay you at that position specifically.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, we need to get to the 10 o'clock hour. Jesse, are you ready to take over the show?
Oh, I got a good one for you guys coming up. One of my favorite things. We're going to do it. It's going to be fun.
Oh, Nelly already?
No, but we can whoa Nelly this if it's a really bad idea.
It's fair.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Watch the Bucks for free with select games on broadcast TV all season long. WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is against Tyler Hero and the Heat in Miami. Tonight at 6 on WMLW-BM.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? TSPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at WalneyLegal.com.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed.
Mamma mia!
Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about. Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. I don't feel like I necessarily need to ask for permission on a show with my name in the marquee to ask something briefly, but I'm going to... Jesse, is it okay if I ask a quick question before we turn the show over to you?
I'll allow it.
Are we really supposed to get 12 to 18 inches of snow this weekend?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up because I'm a little nervous, Jason. I'm supposed to fly. I have been waiting. I do a trip every year with the Wisconsin PGA out to Las Vegas for a golf trip. I'm supposed to leave on Sunday morning. Like, I want to know if I'm going to get out of here. And additionally, if we're going to get that much snow, I need to find a way to help my wife because she's not going to shovel all that snow if that's what we indeed end up getting.
Yeah, I
got to find answers.
So I saw Sam Cuffle, who was a longtime, very talented weather person in Milwaukee. I still follow her. She's fun to follow on Twitter. She warned me and others, not me specifically, don't get ahead of your skis just because we're getting these kind of numbers predicted for the weekend. It's a little premature.
Which I understand. And again, it's the weather. It can change quickly. Maybe can she clue me in on how much I'm supposed to expect?
Right. How worried should I be? Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm not supposed to take the weather app that is on my phone all that seriously. I understand that. But you're the professional. Help guide me through this now, Sam. I am begging you. Please let me know.
You saw the same tweet I did where she said,
I did,
you're not supposed to be doing this 4 or 5 days out. As someone who is home alone like Kevin, with the cats and the dogs
disappear.
Yes, I did. With the cats and the dogs and the fish and the hamsters, I'm glad they're going to miss it. Right, they're down in Florida having a grand old time. But I want to go see UW Oshkosh women play in the Division III tournament. They're hosting the Sweet 16 and potentially an Elite 8 game to go to the Final Four. I want to go down there and see my buddy Brad Fisher and his team play. I don't want to be doing that in a major blizzard as I'm doing it, right?
Real fan would.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. It's an hour drive each way. That's
Casual Oshkosh women's basketball supporter.
I'm streaming it on TV and on the ESPN app or whatever I need to do.
Hopping on the bandwagon.
Like I did with that UWGB game the other day that I said I might go to on that Wednesday. I ended up not going, so I watched it. I saw Dan in Brothertown in the stands, took a screenshot of them and everything. So, all right, so you don't know either, but you have reason for apprehension just like I'm dealing with.
100%.
Bigger than me.
So somebody, if we have a meteorologist listening to the show, just hit us up on the talk and text line. Just let us know, what should I be expecting? Because, again, I need to start preparing for am I going to – because if I don't get out, Jason, if I don't get out to Vegas for this golf trip, I am going to be – in a bad mood on Monday.
I should be thankful I don't do your show every day. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
Okay. Well, Sam, I don't know if she listens to our show, but we'll even put her on the Yingling guest hotline if she has
100%
intel for us.
I mean, it would be a PSA for everybody.
It would be. All right. So, Jesse, now that we've discussed the weather, the show is yours.
So the Green Bay Packers have made a number of moves thus far in free agency. Some contract extensions, some players signed. And I thought with Gabe in today as our cousin sub of the day for Tausch, today would be a good opportunity for us to kind of reset what has been a flurry of moves over the last 72 hours.
Snow joke in there. Nice work.
Thank you. By placing the players that the Packers have signed or extended into 3 different tiers.
This segment brought to you by Tier 1 Tyler and Pepsi.
Yep.
The choice of a new generation.
It's very easy to tier your friends. Everybody does it, whether they want to admit or not. And now we get to tier the Packers signing and extended players here over the last week or so of free agency.
Quick question for the host of the show here.
Yes, sir.
We've obviously got 3 categories of players, right? Coming, going, and staying. Are we grading the goings too, and how severe the loss is in the tier system, or just guys that are on the actual team?
I'm glad you asked, Jason. As I thought about how to best execute this exercise, I think we will only critique the players who are staying or in Green Bay. And here are the 3 tiers that we can place them in.
Oh, you really put a lot of thought into this.
I did, yeah. Tier 1, players that may or will have a Super Bowl impact on the Green Bay Packers. Tier 2...
I don't think there's any of those.
Well, then we can talk further about it. Tier 2, solid players signed. Solid players, not Super Bowl impact, but solid players. Or Tier 3, the ones that were like, we'll see what happens with that guy as Brian Gutekunst signs him and brings him in. So those are our 3 tiers of Packers players as we do this exercise.
Okay. Do you have some sort of special music that you've cooked up on your harmonica or on your keyboard that you have for us?
I did get in a little early today and make sure Gabe was all situated. I also put together this special music just for this segment.
Got in at 8:52.
Just for this.
Yeah. I get so tired of that joke. That's the one joke we do on this show that it's so
it gets me every time. I love it. All right. So let's.
But you just made it though. Like you were just a part of it. Like you helped set it up.
Yeah.
Like if you're sick of it, you would think you would stop doing it.
You would think.
You
right?
have control. As you pointed out, your name is on the show.
Gabe, you don't understand. Every time I do that, I'm like Wile E. Coyote. I always think I'm going to get the Roadrunner. I always think that he's going to come up with different music. And he lets me down every time.
One of these days, we might.
Instead of the rock getting catapulted over your head, it catapults onto your head.
Yes, precisely. And then I run into the painted tunnel in the
One
mountain.
of these days, that tunnel will be real. But until then, here we are. So let's start with Sky Moore. Sky Moore, signed formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. Special teams add as a returner, also a wide receiver. What tier? Tier 1, Super Bowl impact. Tier 2, solid player. Or tier 3, we'll see what happens. What tier, Jason, Gabe, would you put Sky Moore on in this exercise?
I'm going to let Gabe go first on all these.
So for me, he's a tier 3 player. I hope he can evolve to a tier 2 player, but maybe I'm just burned by the whole McCole Hardman thing a year ago. And he has more guaranteed money in his contract than Hardman did, so maybe that increases his chances of sticking around. But it's still not like a significant investment when you have a $300 million cap. So I thought that they were actually serious about this last year when they went out and got Hardman. He returned punts in, one game and then got cut? One preseason game and then got cut? So that is still a possibility for Sky Moore. I hope it's not. I hope that this is a sign of another thing the Packers have changed, actually investing in that position, something that Ted Thompson has not done, something that Brian Gutekunst has not done. So I'm hoping if he makes the roster, he's a tier 2. But right now, it's a tier 3 because I'm not fully convinced he's going to be on the roster when we get to the end of August.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Hollywood squares and agree. Circle gets the square. I think there's a good chance he is a tier 2 if he is the guy that he was last year in San Francisco. But I did my research on him. I have not watched film like I did with Nate Hobbs yet. Tausch likes to bring that up all the time, especially that Arizona game that they never played Arizona among the games that I watched. They didn't play Arizona that season. But I'm a little leery because he also kind of had lost his nerve as a return guy in Kansas City. Lost multiple fumbles, and Andy Reid told him, "Hey, this trade might be good for you. A change of scenery, kind of hit the reset button," and it was. He was traded during training camp last summer, and he did have an impact for the 49ers. He had a 98-yard kickoff return. He had a 66-yard punt return. Those are all things that the Packers have not had. Certainly not on the kicking return portion since Keyshawn Nixon proclaimed himself too valuable to return kicks. And the punt thing was just a train wreck. I still can't believe they just threw Matthew Golden back there and said, yeah, we understand that you have never returned a punt, including in Pee Wee football, but now we'd like you to do it at the NFL level. And then they went to the guy wearing the protective Guardian cap, great Gazoo helmet. And it just was a mess. They finished last in the league for a reason. So I don't think he's guaranteed a roster spot, just like I didn't think McCole Hardman was. But if he does make the team, that shows a commitment to the return game being important to them.
All right, next up, let's go with one of the players that was extended by the Green Bay Packers, Sean Rhyan on the offensive line. Tier 1, Super Bowl impact. Tier 2, solid player. Tier 3, we'll see what happens. Gabe, where would you put Sean Rhyan on those 3 tiers?
Tier 2.
Yeah, he's, to me, solidly in tier 2. And he solidifies the offensive line. he played well at center. He played better than Elton Jenkins did. And especially after you see the way that Tyler Linderbaum just basically reset the center market. Whew. I know some people were going, oh, man, look at the money that Sean Ryan, I can't believe he got that much money. Well, if you're starting center in the league, that's what you get now because Tyler Linderbaum got $27 million a year. So I think Sean Ryan is a solid player. I think he's going to continue to grow and get better at that center position. And it makes me happy that they did that because I did not want to have to go in this offseason looking for his center in the draft because they clearly do not believe in Jacob Monk, somebody that they drafted to be the center of the future.
I have a feeling we're going to go this way throughout this entire exercise because he's not a Super Bowl impact guy. And if we're being unbiased, which is what Pro Football Focus allegedly does, right? The eye in the sky don't lie. Again, same caveat that Gabe mentioned with Hargrave. It is not the end-all, be-all of assessment of players. But Pro Football Focus graded 40 centers last year. Sean Ryan was ranked 31st. Now, in fairness to Sean Ryan, is 9 games as a center a fair sample size of what he can become? No, it is not. He deserves the opportunity to prove that he's better than the 31st ranked center. And if he's like 15 next year, it is a great, largely inexpensive, comparatively speaking, solid signing. And I thought there was a chance they'd let all these dudes walk and just start over. That is not the case here. I am glad they re-signed him. I think it was smart. I think it's a little bit like Zaire Franklin of, hey, not as good of a player as a guy that we could have paid a lot of top dollar money to, but for what we're paying, we really like this move. So tier 2 for sure, very, very solid signing, but nothing more than that.
Let's revisit one more for now, and then we'll do the other 3 coming up next.
You don't care that it's 10:19, huh?
Now we're doing one more.
It's interesting how people bend the rules for the timing when it is them running the show.
Well, if we didn't take 7 minutes to say, hey, gonna snow this weekend, huh? We would have been on the clock. Just saying.
Hey, people
I think
care
that
about
was
that.
good. I think that was good content, actually.
I think we're making marvelous content with our tiers of free agents. And how about
the music?
Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks, tier 1, Super Bowl impact.
Well,
tier
now, wait
2.
a minute. What category is he in?
Well, we're gonna find out.
He was under. No. I mean, he was under contract. And now he continues to be under contract.
They got to restructure. There was speculation that they were part of. There was speculation that he could be parted with this offseason.
You're a rule bender.
Yeah, a little
bit. You give a guy a little bit of power, and he just does whatever the hell he wants.
There was a contract shift for Aaron Banks. To me, that means he's part of this free agency cycle.
Shift. Gabe, the floor is yours.
He's tier 2. I mean, it's not even wait and see. He needs to be in tier 2 because the way they restructured the deal, he's not just going to be here for 2026. He is 90%, Jason, going to be here in 2027 as well. The way that they pushed that money into the future, they invested more into Aaron Banks and doubled down. While they moved on from Nate Hobbs quickly, they doubled down on Aaron Banks, and he needs to be in tier 2. There's no wait and see.
I keep saying this. He got a $27 million signing bonus last year. They then, this year, literally in a span of 365 days, then they take his $9.5 million roster bonus and all but like $1.2 million of his $7.7 million base salary and convert it to a bonus, which means that they have given him 27 plus 16 is $43 million.
It's good work if you can get it.
So, again, I think he's tier 2 and solidly tier 2. But when you talk about $43 million, you give a guy $43 million in a one calendar year, his name should be Micah Parsons. He should be tier 1. He should be Super Bowl impact, and he's a guard. I think he's a good player. I think people looked at him when he was playing with a back injury and a knee and a groin and thought he was not good. I don't think that's the case, but I don't know if he's a $43 million player. Andrew Brandt, the old capologist for the Packers, does this, all-pro finance
Business
guys.
of football?
Yeah. Business of football. Thank you. He's a winner. He may be the Tom Brady of the business of football. He may be the GOAT, at least in a one-year span. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
good for him.
Yeah, great for him. I don't begrudge him at all. I just that's a lot of money in 1 year for a guy who plays guard.
There's Bomani Jones used to host kind of the early evening show on ESPN Radio. Does his own podcast now. Bomani is pretty well accomplished when it comes to the world of sports media. And I remember he did a segment after Chris Middleton, not even like one of the big Chris Middleton contracts, but like the first extension he got from the Bucks. And he said something about Chris Middleton that I applied to just about anything in this situation, Jason. If you want to be a legend in one place, you want to be a legend at the bank. And that's what Aaron Banks is. $43 million in 365 days. That is legend at the bank.
Congratulations to him, but they need him to play at an elite level and help their center be better and help Jordan Morgan be better at left tackle.
The offensive line as a whole, if they want to win a Super Bowl next year, Jason, has to be better than it was in 2026. Period, full stop.
Yep. You're right about that. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. How old is your mattress?
My mattress is 2 years old.
All right, then you're good. But if you got yours more than 7 years ago, it's time to bench your old mattress and draft a new one with our friends at Steinhafels. Right now, it's Mattress Madness. Kind of feel like I need to give that one of those Ric Flair woos at Steinhafels. And it's the perfect time to upgrade. Their sleep experts will help you match up with the right mattress for the way you sleep so you wake up rested, especially if you get up as early as Gabe does for Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, instead of hitting the snooze bar over and over. You'll find all the top brands at unbeatable prices, plus free delivery, and that 120-night sleep guarantee. Mattress Madness. It's on now at Steinhafels. You can shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. The Tears of a Clown. Jesse continues with his tearing. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is ready to slip someone into a green jacket. The next tournament of the season is here, and there's $1,000 in cash prizes. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at Georgia Golf Club, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's spacious state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and all teams must compete their round by March 31st. Who's walking away with the cash, and who's earning that green jacket?
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do,
You can't beat Burkhart.
if you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy, because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find, with an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service,
You can't beat Burkhart.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
This is one of those times where I wish we had our previous policy of popular music as opposed to royalty-free music. And by the way, I had somebody ask me about this. I was at a gymnastics meet for the girls, and a huge fan of the show. And now I'm forgetting her name, so I'm sorry about that. But Beth, I think her name was. She came up and said how much she loved the show, but she said she misses all the different music we would play. And she was wondering, and she asked about the royalty-free music. Let me just be clear. We are not trying to screw over artists with this new policy. If it was up to us, we would have continued, because we paid to be able to play popular music on the radio. I was on Wisconsin's Midday News yesterday with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty, and they were playing Free Fallin'. Gina was their producer. I pointed out that there's a version by John Mayer that I especially like of that song, because we were talking about free agency, right? It was clever. I liked it. Sure. She does that with every time I'm on. We're still paying that, but they're not as all in with apparently the YouTube part of the equation. And we would play our music that we pay for, and YouTube would flag it, and then people would have trouble watching our shows. And so that is why we've done this. We're not trying to screw over artists. I wish we played more of it like the old days. That said, I was pretty proud of the Tears of a Clown line, and it would be nice to have Smokey Robinson dropping that song right now. Instead, we continue with Jesse's Tears of Free Agents and also guys that got their contracts restructured.
Yes, sir. And now we shift over to the defensive side of the football. How about the big name that we have been talking about through much of the show thus far today? Javon Hargrave, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings. Is he a Tier 1 Super Bowl impact player, a Tier 2 solid player, or a Tier 3 we'll see what happens guy? Gabe?
He is a Tier 2 solid player, and I think he's proven he's a solid player. Once upon a time, he was a Tier 1 guy. But at age 33, he's not that guy anymore. But that's not who the Packers need him to be. They just need more solid players along that defensive line, especially once Micah Parsons gets healthy. So that's where he falls to me. He's in that Tier 2. Because, again, that doesn't mean he can't make a big play in the Super Bowl. Like, no one's going to put Howard Green in Tier 1 Super Bowl impact, even though he had a huge impact on a play that the Packers won. In the Super Bowl, the Packers won. That led to the pick six from Nick Collins. Nick Collins was a Tier 1 guy. But for me, Hargrave is definitely in that Tier 2 spot. He's not what he used to be, but he's still a really solid player in the NFL.
Yeah, well said. Well said, as Strofe likes to tell us when we say something smart on Green Bay Game Day. That's very well said by you. It's true. There was a time in 2022 when he literally was a Super Bowl impact player. He had 11 sacks that season. They went to the Super Bowl with Jonathan Gannon as the defensive coordinator in Philadelphia. And Jonathan Gannon got himself a big boy head coaching job, which, again, it was in Arizona, so that makes it hard to succeed. And Javon Hargrave got himself a big contract from the San Francisco 49ers. So, yeah, he was a Tier 1, but he is Tier 2 at age 33, having just turned 33 last month. Next.
How about Zaire Franklin, acquired in the trade with the Indianapolis Colts? Zaire Franklin, Tier 1, 2, or 3, Gabe?
Again, he falls to me in that Tier 2. You've got a Tier 1, or who you hope is a Tier 1 guy in Edgerrin Cooper, and you're just looking to surround him with solid players, somebody that has a little bit more leadership. Yes, he led the NFL in tackles a couple of seasons ago. I don't expect him to have that type of impact for the Packers, but I expect him to be a starter, a guy who's playing a significant amount of snaps for the Green Bay Packers. So I put Franklin back in that Tier 2 spot.
I agree. He's Tier 2. Let me ask a question here, though, to interrupt this briefly. Are you concerned, or I guess I think we knew when this exercise started that there wasn't going to be, I mean, unless you're going to stun me with Benjamin St. Juste being a Tier 1 for you.
They just go, okay.
He's Tier 3.
Spoiler alert, he was the last
spoiler
one
alert, exactly. Yeah. Are you, as a Packers fan, Gabe, concerned, disappointed, or just what I expected, that we're not going to have a Tier 1 player here?
I mean, it would have been nice to get a Tier 1 player, Jason, but of the free agents that got signed, I'm not even sure who a Tier 1 player is in free agency this year.
Yeah, overall.
Right?
Right.
Overall. Like, maybe Trey Hendrickson, but he wasn't even the guy that he had been the previous couple of seasons last year for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's getting paid a bunch of money, and they're expecting him to be a Tier 1 player in Baltimore. But maybe Trey Hendrickson? I mean, I guess Alec Pierce would probably fall on that list because he's a really talented wide receiver. But there aren't a ton of those guys available in free agency to begin with. And the way that this roster is constructed, well, I keep telling myself, and maybe you can say I'm lying to myself if you want. That's fine, and I'm just rationalizing. But at halftime of that game against the Denver Broncos, how did you feel about the Green Bay Packers?
I felt really, really good about them.
I felt that they were a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah.
And then Christian Watson goes to the hospital. Zach Tom gets hurt, which I think kind of gets overlooked at times because of the hospital, the hospital stay that Christian Watson had. And then, of course, the bigger injury of the ACL tear of Micah Parsons. And suddenly the season just goes south. Yes, they still make the postseason. They break our hearts with the way that the Chicago game turned out. But I look at that game of, well, Micah Parsons is coming back. We didn't have him for that game, but we're going to have Tucker Kraft back.
Yeah.
Like, I think they have enough tier 1 players, and that's been a huge criticism that I've had of this team in the past, Jason, of do they have enough studs on the roster? Do they have enough of those tier 1 Super Bowl type players to get to a Super Bowl? And I think with the way that they've grown, the acquisition of Micah Parsons, I think the answer to that is yes. Because I think that Jordan Love is a Super Bowl caliber player. I think that Tucker Kraft is, Micah Parsons is, Zach Tom when healthy is, Xavier McKinney is. Like, they've got enough guys on this roster to fill that tier already. And while it would have been nice to go get a Jalen Carter, who I believe would belong in that tier 1, that's not the type of guy that this offseason requires from the Green Bay Packers.
Well said again. I don't know how Tyler Linderbaum got paid like a Super Bowl tier 1 guy, but I don't know if centers make that big of a difference. And when I look at free agency, I see the exact same thing. All right.
If you've got a really bad one, it can make a difference in the other way. You know? Like, if you've got a solid center, you should be fine. If you've got a really bad one, it's hard. I mean, again, I think that the Vikings are going to find this out after going get Garrett Bradbury after he didn't have a very good, year for the Lions went out and got him. Or no, the Bears got him. Sorry. He used to play for the Vikings, went to the Patriots. Patriots traded him to the Bears after their center unexpectedly retired. But Bradbury didn't have a good year. And we saw that in the Super Bowl.
That's a really good point. I had not, it took us a while to get to which team he's actually on. But yes.
Yeah, that's on me. Hand in the air, on me. I apologize.
Circled every team in the division there, I think, at one point.
I think he played for the Buccaneers at one point, too, back in the old NFC Central. All right, Jesse's got another game lined up for us. It's just a game of Palooza here in the 10 o'clock hour. We agree on Benjamin St. Juice. He is tier 3. But we're going to play a little Take It to the Bank presented by Associated Bank coming up next. Gabe, you're a wrestling guy. We established that earlier in the program. You got your show coming up. I have endured some very harsh criticism for my limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing son of a gun.
Wheeling, dealing son of a gun, and you're having a hard time keeping these alligators down?
So that's how it's supposed to sound?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got to put a little energy behind it. He's the nature boy, Ric Flair. Woo!
I didn't find that to be as energetic as I feel like I should have been expecting it to be, given the criticism I've taken. But that's fine. The bottom line is this. Woo! Ric Flair is coming to Milwaukee. March 27th at the Riverside Theater as Thanasis Antetokounmpo hosts Thanalysis Live with the WWE Hall of Famer and global icon himself. This isn't a cameo. It's not some 5-minute interview. It's a full show. You know Gabe's going to be there. He ain't missing this. High energy, unfiltered storytelling, behind-the-scenes moments you've never heard. And if you know Thanasis, you know he's bringing the juice as well. Energy, laughs, surprises. And when Ric Flair grabs a microphone, you know anything can happen. Tickets are limited, so do not wait. Lock in yours right now at TALiveshow.com. That's TALiveshow.com. Thanalysis Live, March 27th at the Riverside Theater, presented by Gruber Law Offices and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Gabe, say it with me. Woo! Woo! Take It to the Bank is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. That power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 20, Maurice Lucas, retired in 2006. Lucas at Marquette only 2 years, but he was so good. 74 NCAA championship game against NC State, 40 minutes, 21 points, 13 rebounds. In the semi-win over Kansas, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Also, that game-winning shot in a win over Wisconsin that created the legendary post-game photo of the father of 2 Badger players very upset with Al McGuire. For your fellow fanatics and your number 1 fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks ended their 5-game homestand with a 1-4 record after a 129-114 loss to the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday night. In the same night, he surpassed 10,000 career points. Kyle Kuzma put together a strong performance with a season-high 33 points. Here's Kuzma after the game on accomplishing this career milestone.
I didn't even realize. I was just so much in the zone, like even when I scored, I didn't know until like the intercom kind of said it, but I was like, man, that's crazy, honestly. I didn't really think too much because we were in the game, but yeah, it's special. It's special, so.
The Bucks will hit the road again, heading south to take on the Miami Heat on Thursday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
When Milwaukee families need help, the United Way is there, reducing barriers to employment, providing transportation, safe and stable homes, and more for over 192,000 people.
And this month, Cunis is proud to stand beside them. Hi, I'm Bill Eater with Cunis of Milwaukee.
And I am Tony Avery with the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha County. During the Cunis Drives Milwaukee 1000 event, they're donating $100 to the United Way for every vehicle sold.
Our goal this month is simple: 1,000 vehicles across 3 Cunis Milwaukee dealerships.
For a $100,000 donation to the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha County.
To help us reach our goal, you'll find incredible deals on all new and pre-owned vehicles at our 3 locations in Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall.
Be a part of Driving Milwaukee Forward at the Cunis Drives Milwaukee 1000 event.
Start your search today at CunisMKE.com. That's CunisMKE.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Jesse's got another game for us. Although I don't know if he has the royalty-free music for it or not.
Yeah, Take It to the Bank is still under construction. It's like a place in the mall where they're always like, oh, it's under construction. We'll open soon.
I don't know. I saw Dan Schaefer posted on Twitter photos from inside Brookfield Square Mall. That ain't under construction.
Ooh. No.
I didn't realize the actual mall itself was, like, deserted. They got all that stuff built up in front of it, but there's nothing in there.
I miss a good mall.
I do too. I love the mall. And I love Associated Bank and Take It to the Bank.
It's our numbers game music making an appearance for Take It to the Bank today, presented by Associated Bank. What we're going to talk about today and Take It to the Bank is the Developments in NFL free agency around the rest of the league. You know, Gabe Neitzel's a distinguished national radio host for ESPN
he is.
Radio.
He's very good.
He can broaden his horizons beyond just what the Green Bay Packers have done in free agency. So, a couple of Take It to the Bank questions for you, presented by Associated Bank. First up, Take It to the Bank, Gabe. Max Crosby, who said on social media last night he's essentially dedicated to being a Las Vegas Raider after that trade went through with the Baltimore Ravens. Take it to the bank. Max Crosby will play for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2026.
Yeah, I'm taking that to the bank. I think based on that, you look around, and I'm not quite sure how many other teams would be willing to give up 2 first-round picks. And his desire to want to be there. He wants to be a Raider for life. I think that is what he wanted. The relationship deteriorated a little bit when they told him, basically, hey, we're going to tank for this first pick, so we're going to sit you. And he wanted to play at the end of that season last year. But I think he's rededicated with a new coach. They spent a ton of money with an infusion of talent coming in. Yes, they won't have the 14th overall pick, but they still have that number 1 pick to go get Fernando Mendoza. And even with him, that defense should be much improved this year. He's playing for the Raiders in 2026.
Yeah, I'm taking it to the bank, too. And Tausch mentioned the Mike Flanagan trade, which famously sent Mike Flanagan to the Carolina Panthers. He flunked his physical, and they sent him back. He ended up being one of the timers for the Packers. Like, he's not a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but he's a damn good football player, 2-time Pro Bowler. I think he's a Packers Hall of Famer. If not, he should be. Sometimes it works out that way. And, by the way, Max Crosby's going back to a different Raiders team. I'm amazed that they had so much cap space that they could sign a bunch of dudes and then retake him back in when the trade didn't work out.
Across the face, yes. That's what I was worried about when I saw that. I'm like, oh, man. The Raiders have just spent, since that trade, just signing everybody they could. But it didn't matter. They could still sign all those guys and take back the $30 million on Max Crosby's deal.
Yep. Next.
I guess it's possible they might actually be good this year. Who knows? We'll find out.
Let's not get carried away.
Take it to the bank. I don't think anything's official yet, but Kyler Murray meeting with the Minnesota Vikings today, per reports. Take it to the bank. J.J. McCarthy will start at least 4 games at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in 2026. Gabe?
I don't know what to make of what's going on up in Minnesota, because it seemed like prior to the year that Sam Darnold started for them, they were all in on J.J. McCarthy. But now that their general manager's been fired, well, apparently he's the one who loved him, and Kevin O'Connell wasn't as thrilled about J.J. McCarthy being his quarterback. So if I'm taking the latest information out of Minnesota at face value, no, J.J. McCarthy is not going to be starting 4 games for the Minnesota Vikings this upcoming year. That is going to be Kyler Murray, as Adam Schefter told us on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. Murray going to Minnesota, I think you can do that math. He was released yesterday and was on the first plane to Minnesota that he could find.
I'm going to not take that to the bank either. I would, though, say, you know what changed? They saw J.J. McCarthy play. That's what changed. I'm not one to give up on people, as people well know, but I don't see how you're not giving up on him based on what you saw. Maybe he'll be like Kyler Murray, and he'll go to another team and have success like they're hoping Kyler Murray does. But for the 10th overall pick, I am taken aback by how not very good he was. Next.
Last up in Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank, free agency around the NFL edition. Take it to the bank, particularly after parting ways with DJ Moore and now Kevin Byard this offseason. The Chicago Bears will definitely not be as good in 2026 as they were in 2025. They will definitely not be as good. Gabe?
Well, I don't think they're going to be as good, but it has nothing to do with those two players in particular. Turnovers in the NFL are hard to replicate year over year, and they had a ton of them last year. Other than those turnovers, that defense was bad. and they've lost some guys. Yeah, they brought in Kobe Bryant from the Seahawks, but their offensive line took a hit with their center unexpectedly just deciding to retire this offseason. They've got a lot of more things I think that they need to do. They've added a little bit in their free agency. They lost their middle linebacker as well in Tremaine Edmonds. So I think the losses that they have, plus just, again, the general nature of the way they relied on turnovers last year, that's not replicable year over year. So that's why I think the Chicago Bears are a prime candidate to take a step back in 2026.
Growth is not linear. Perhaps you've heard me say that. Look, they've got a really good coach. He's a complete jackwagon, jerkweed, whatever you want to call him, but he knows what he's doing. He's a good coach. They've got a good quarterback, but he is going to have some growing pains still, even with that good coach. To Gabe's point, they have had some attrition on their roster. I was reading something from Dan Wiederer on the Bears last night. You can't argue that their roster is better than it was. You just can't. Now, they have a draft coming too, but right now, I think they and again, they won the division and they went 2-4 in the division. They beat a bunch of crummy teams. Now, I'm not a Bears hater. I know there's a bunch of Bears fans that somehow entertain themselves by coming into our YouTube comments every day. I don't understand what's fun about that, but God bless them. Thank you for the numbers. But the bottom line is that I still think they're a good team, but I think they're going to experience some growing pains and some backsliding as well. All right, that is Take It to the Bank.
I know Homer's the T-shirt guy, but are we going to get a Jason Wilde T-shirt that says growth isn't linear on the front and take care, be good on the back?
We could. Have to talk to some people. I know it would be Iron Jock quality material that we'd wear, that four-way stretch.
Naturally.
So we'll have to see if we can bring that into reality. What is reality is that Associated Bank has the best customer service in the industry, and they've got the awards to prove it. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more about that. Find out more about early pay, credit monitoring, fraud protection, and Brewers, Badgers, and Packers checking. Associated Bank. It's not branches that make a bank local. It's roots. We need to play trivia. Jesse, what's today's category? What caller would you like?
Our friends on Inside the NBA, every start of every basketball season, play a game with Charles Barkley. Who he play for? Now seems as appropriate a time as ever to steal that concept for Wilde and Tausch trivia. With NFL free agency in full swing, today's trivia category regarding NFL free agency, who he play for?
Okay. I'm intrigued. Caller 12 right now. Caller 12, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 12 plays trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
March is here, and the biggest college basketball tournament is just around the corner. Join Kyle Brust-Nortman live from Kips Inn on Wednesday, March 18th from 2 to 5 p.m. as we tip off the tournament with our friends from Screamin' Sicilian Pizza. Whether you're just finalizing your bracket, talking matchups, or just getting ready for the action ahead, come hang out with the KBN crew and enjoy fresh Screamin' Sicilian Pizza while it lasts. Lock in your bracket picks and set up for every big moment. The road to a national championship starts at Kips Inn with Screamin' Sicilian. We'll see you there.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
In healthcare, change is constant. Fifth Third Bank helps organizations navigate that change with local expertise and comprehensive financial solutions. From capital structure optimization to revenue cycle support and commercial payment tools, Fifth Third empowers sustainable growth. For nearly 20 years, the Milwaukee team has partnered with healthcare and not-for-profit organizations, building trusted, long-term relationships. Experience the difference only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Heck yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds. Listen, when it came to buying an engagement ring for my now fiance, I had no idea what I was doing, which is why I went to the team at Robert Hack. I heard her say words like radiant cut and solitaire, but to be real honest, I didn't really know what that meant. So I wrote it down, I brought it to the team at Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield, and they knocked it out of the park. It's true, if you've never been through this process before, the team at Robert Hack are absolute experts. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, one in Greenfield, Brookfield South, and Brookfield North. If you're looking to take the next step like I did, and your girlfriend maybe is posting things on her Pinterest page or is showing you pictures, bring it into Robert Hack. They'll do their best to duplicate a dream ring for her, just like they did for my fiance. Moral of the story, if you are like me and you want to start, you just don't really know where, the answer's clear. Visit one of the 3 Robert Hack locations in the Milwaukee area. Just like me, at the end, you'll say, heck yeah, with Robert Hack Diamonds. And RobertHackDiamonds.com, that's RobertHackDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
No way. Another one? Another one?
Another one.
Time now for Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. It's lobster season at Cousin Subs. Their lobster salad sub is fresh, flavorful, and only here for a limited time. Try it today.
I don't believe it. Another first-time contestant. It is Sam in Madison. Sam, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
Morning. Good, thanks.
Gabe, are you going to ask a question here, or is it like when Tausch is on the show where it says question 2 asked by Tausch, but he never does?
I mean, the question 2 says asked by Gabe. I assumed that was my role. I assumed those were my lines.
Okay, great. Then that's
so nice to have someone that looks at the show sheet. This is great.
It's a rarity for sure. All right, Sam, question 1 is asked by Jason. That would be me. Super Bowl champion running back and Super Bowl MVP, I believe, Kenneth Walker, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. Who he play for? Does he play for the
Kansas City Chiefs?
Just for posterity, the other options were the Philadelphia Eagles and Tausch's A squad of players whose names he forgets regularly. Gabe, question 2.
Well, speaking of those players, former Packer safety Zane Anderson. Who he play for? Is it the Denver Broncos? Is it the Miami Dolphins? Or is it the New York Jets?
Ooh, I'm going to say he's reunited with Jeff Hafley in Miami.
Nicely done.
It's a good choice.
Way to think that through. Well played, sir. I'm bummed. I really like Zane. He was one of my guys, so I wish him the best in Miami and in Green Bay South as opposed to South Florida. All right. Big opportunity here, Sam, in your debut. Question 3. Former Green Bay Packers offensive lineman Josh Nijman. Who he play for? Is it the Carolina Panthers, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, or neither? He is retiring.
I was going to say, I thought I saw recently that he retired.
You did, and you are correct.
For no one, I guess.
Josh Nijman does decide to retire after 7 NFL seasons. And look, he had a good run for an undrafted guy. He did okay for himself, for sure. Sam, well done, man. 3 for 3 in your debut. That means you got 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for playing. We appreciate you. That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. Speaking of Cousin Subs, we got Gabe Neitzel as our Cousin Sub of the day. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. The 11 o'clock hour starts nearly on time. Interesting. Odd. Curious. We'll see if Jesse's got one more game for us to play. That starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now with Gabe Neitzel in as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. As a national radio host, along with the work that you do on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every weekday, how do you think things have gone today so far?
Oh, things have been great. I always love filling in on this show. Moving topic to topic. Maybe we probably went a little heavy on the games in hour two there. Could have spread those out maybe a little bit.
Okay. Do we have someone for tomorrow, by the way? Or are we going to be asking Gabe if he's available?
Breaking news into the Wilde and Tausch news desk. Thanks to their elimination in the Big East opening round of the conference tournament last night at Madison Square Garden, Homer will be back and ready to go with us tomorrow as the cousin sub of the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would not have been available. I've got Clinton and Friends tomorrow, so during this
cool.
time slot,
Wow.
so I would have not been
You're so
available.
awesome with all your national shows. That's awesome.
You're the worst. You're just the worst. We encourage you to listen to us instead of Gabe.
You know, you could have sold Homer a little better there. You could have been a little, oh, great, Homer's coming back. I'm looking forward to that.
I'll be honest, I thought you were setting me up for a big surprise that Brian Bulaga, who has that big member guest golf tournament, was somehow going to be available because we're always smarter because of Brian. And I thought maybe you had some sort of big surprise. You're the one who sold it as breaking news.
Yeah, it just came across our desk here in the last few minutes that Homer is available.
Why, did they lose this morning?
They lost last night.
That game was last night,
We had
wasn't
to figure out when he was getting back and what his day looked like, you know?
He's not sleeping in the doorway of Madison Square Garden with his McDonald's. All right, well, Homer will be our cousin sub tomorrow, and we do love Homer. I was trying to be funny there. Gabe, we started the show. Well, I mean, we started the show talking about beards, which irritated a few people, apparently. But I thought it was pretty good content. But then we got to Javon Hargrave. So we played our little game with Jesse, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. We agreed that he's Tier 2 at this point. Had you gotten him when he was, what's the line from Major League about Jake Taylor? Oh, wish we had him 2 years ago then. Well, we did. Well, 4 years ago then.
4 years ago.
He'd be a Tier 1. When you look at the overall body of work so far, and there's more work to be done, there's obviously the draft in a month, etc. But when you look at kind of where this team is, you mentioned the guys coming back from injury. You mentioned how you felt about this team during the Denver game, and you and I are in alignment on that. I bring up that Denver game all the time. It is 23-14, and they have just gotten a turnover, which did not happen very often, by the way, last season.
No.
And Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love get aggressive, and they go up top for the dagger, right? And if that ball carries 2 yards farther, Christian Watson catches it for a touchdown. And now suddenly it's 30-14 against a team, by the way, that was the number 1 seed in the AFC and had won 10 in a row going into that game. And we're looking at this team completely differently. And instead, Christian Watson leaves the stadium in an ambulance. You mentioned the often overlooked knee injury to Zach Tom. And, of course, the knee injury that ends the season of Micah Parsons, and everything goes to hell in a handbasket thereafter. They never won another game. They went from up 23-14 on the number 1 seed in the AFC to never winning another game. Oof. That was not ideal. So now that you've seen what they've done, what do you think of where we are today, and what do you still have on your wish list?
I mean, I think a corner is still on the wish list, but I like what they did so far this offseason because I think 3 things were kind of circled, Jason. Okay, what are you doing at offensive line? What are you going to be doing at interior on the defensive line? And what are you doing at cornerback? And they addressed all 3 of those to varying levels, whether it's, on the offensive line, adding Darian Kennard, so he's your swing tackle, Sean Ryan's your starting center, still need depth. on the defensive tackle side, you're going, okay, we've got our starters. We've got Wyatt. We've got Hargrave now. You need some depth. And maybe you could use a starter depending upon what's available to you in the second round in the draft. But what they've done is they're not locked into one position, right? If they didn't sign Javon Hargrave, you're going, they better be taking a defensive tackle in the second round, because otherwise I don't know what that's going to look like. Well, now you just need depth. Offensive line, you need depth. Corners, you need depth. And you're not going to put the pressure on a second-round corner. Maybe they become a starter, as we saw the Packers do a couple of years ago with the defensive back position and the way Evan Williams has been able to grow and what we've seen out of Javon Bullard. Like, they've gotten some contributors, pretty early in drafts the last couple of years. But you don't feel like you need any position more than any other one right now. There's no glaring hole. Certainly still need depth at certain positions, and I think corner's probably still the top one where a difference maker could come in and contribute right away. But they've been able to add to this roster and make the draft not feel like it's, all right, you better nail that second and third round pick, and they got to contribute right away, otherwise this team's sunk. It doesn't feel like that to me, whereas it could have gotten and felt that way had they not made the additions they did.
I'm sure Tausch will miss another show or two, so we'll have more opportunities for you to fill in. But I am very curious what their draft looks like, because they got one compensatory seventh-round pick, and that's the only additional pick they have, right? They did not acquire any picks in trades that are applicable to this year. Next year, in 2027, they'll have the Rashawn Gary pick and assuming Rasheed Walker signs some sort of contract somewhere, theoretically, a fourth compensatory pick. That would be 5 total additional picks in addition to their own. No first-rounder this year, no first-rounder next year. It's going to be really interesting, 2 days instead of 3. Although I'll go to Lambeau just in case on day one of the draft, which will emanate from Pittsburgh when they do it. All right, we need to get ready for Kayla Karius, the head coach of the UW Green Bay women's basketball team. And I'm told that Dan in Brothertown is banned from this segment. We're not going to have him call in and help us conduct the interview. But the small world that is Wisconsin sports, I mean, he started calling the show when Kayla, his daughter-in-law, was at, I think, South Dakota. Who would have thought that she'd be the Horizon League Coach of the Year again and have her team dancing again? We will talk to her coming up after I tell you about Grubelov's one call, that's all. We're going to make one call to Kayla on the Yingling guest hotline coming up. But one call, that's all, if you've been injured in an accident. And look, I hope you never have to make that call. Never, ever. So does David. So does their team. But if you have been injured, you need to make the right call, and that's Grubelov's. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Grubelov's one call. That's all. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
What's up, everybody? March 27th, go get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be me, Finesse Antetokounmpo, my co-host, Tony C, and Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair. It's going to be nice. It's going to be dope. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be an experience, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's basically a party/podcast.
Yeah, we're throwing a party at the Riverside March 27th, TALiveshow.com. Who's the guest again? Can I get a woo? Woo! With Ric Flair. Can't wait.
See you guys.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on Then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Mark Tausch here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
A very hearty hello to you good people out there on St. Patrick's Day. I'm Ruth from Hargrave Bank. I suppose you thought I was in Downpatrick in County Down, but I'm right here in the Mayfair Collection branch of Hargrave Bank. Did you know that Hargrave Bank has been serving people like your good selves for 130 years? So they're good at it. Come on in to any of our 20 branches and see for yourselves.
Member FDIC.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products pricing and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So, Kayla Karius, the UW Green Bay women's head basketball coach, has done something that has potentially never been done before. No, it's not what we're going to talk about coming up. It's the fact that after we couldn't get Chris McIntosh or Greg Gard or anyone over at UW on via video successfully on our program, she's joining us on the Yingling. Yeah, I blame Jesse personally. Luke Fickle. How many times has Luke Fickle been on our show?
A couple of times.
5 or 6. I don't think we've ever successfully got him on video.
Oh, we tried.
But I blame Jesse for all that, and I credit Kayla for being the one who breaks the streak because she overcame Jesse's ineptitude. Joining us now on the Yingling Hotline, the Yingling Guest Hotline presented by Yingling, the oldest brewery in America and now officially in Wisconsin. 6 generations, family-owned and operated, DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. It is the head coach of the Horizon League champs. It is Kayla Karius on Wilde and Tausch. Kayla, I think you're best known on this program as Dan and Brother Town's daughter-in-law, but nevertheless, we're happy to have you. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be with you.
Honor is an overstatement, to be sure, but let's use that word and say you were honored as the Horizon League Coach of the Year, which I know you are all about your team. There are a few things I know about you, and one is that you're not going to spend a lot of time talking about you winning that award. But I am trying to figure out, because this was promoted, obviously, as you are the first one ever to both win the Player of the Year award and then win Coach of the Year in the conference. Coach K never won Player of the Year in the ACC. I mean, you may be the greatest player coach in basketball history. Do you think that's a fair description?
No, that's a really bold statement. That probably is not true. And I also don't know how many people I am even in competition with for that award. So all I know is I'm just really grateful. This is the place that I obviously played at and had a million memories made at and gave me my best friends and all the things. And so to be able to come back here and just give back at least half of what I've been given was my goal. So it's been a fun ride.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the one more thing, Gabe, and then I'll let you go. Let's talk a little bit about the ride that you've been on. Last year, you take over a veteran team, and you guys were great. This year, you remake your roster, and you guys are great again. What has been the secret sauce for you this season that has allowed you guys to do what you've done?
Well, like you said, we did graduate 7 after last year's team, really veteran players that have been here a long time and understood the success and what made this place great. And then last April, our staff spent a lot of hours in the office working in the transfer portal. I mean, the beauty of the portal now is that you can pick up players that can make an impact right away. And then the curse of it is that there's 1,500 names that you have to sort through and figure out who fits you the best. And you have to do it really quickly. And that was such a challenge. And all of us coaches across the country at every level are still navigating how to do this and how to set your team up best going forward. So I just want to give a shout out to my staff, because that was one of the hardest months on the job I've ever had, because of how fast you have to make decisions and how quickly you need to assemble your roster and take players before the next guy does. And so my staff did a phenomenal job finding the right fit, not just the kid who can score 25 a game, but the kid who can score at a high level and who understands and has experience, but also can sacrifice that for the good of the team. And that's not always easy to find. That takes a lot of phone calls and a lot of figuring out people. I think we did come up with the transfers that had been recruited by Green Bay the first time. So when I call, it's not, do you know where Green Bay, Wisconsin is? It's more like, hey, remember us? You don't even need to take a visit. This is what we're about. Are you looking for a different experience? If so, we want you to come here. And then things were, once we got to that point, some of them were done rather quickly because we did find the right fit. And as far as secret sauce, it's just the culture here. The Green Bay way is what keeps us strong year after year. I knew that as a player. I wanted to keep that strong going forward. I think Jenna Geyer, being the lone returner who had any kind of significant playing time last year, a lot of that responsibility fell on her shoulders to keep the culture going the right direction, and she did a phenomenal job. I just think player leadership is always going to be the thing that separates us from other teams, and we have a great group of player leadership this year too.
So you had the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament as a player, but last year was your first time going through that as a head coach. What is a lesson that you learned last year that you think you can carry over to this year?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's so different when you're on this side of it. You know, when you're a player, you're just focused on yourself, honestly. And you're at that time of your life where it's just all about you and your teammates, and you never see what your coaches do behind the scenes to get you prepared. So I don't know. As far as lessons learned, you know, it's all about your matchup, which I think is a lot of that is just out of your control at this point. Up until then, you just allow your players to celebrate and enjoy this, and then get back in the gym. And then eventually, when you figure out who you're going to play, then the focus becomes on that game plan. And I just think you're getting your players as confident and as ready as possible. I think we have a lot of talent on this year's team, and I think we're playing some really good basketball right now, and knowing you're going to face a very good team no matter who that is. Only 68 teams get in, so you need to be putting your best foot forward right now. Getting them to be at the most confident as possible level right now, I think, is a really key point.
Kayla, when you look at the way I want to go back to how you built this team and how you did it so quickly. How long does it take? Because we see teams, not just yours, but basically every team in both football and basketball at this point, having to do this kind of speed dating thing to find their rosters. I'm curious how long it takes for those players to gel and play like a team, because that's one of the signatures of Green Bay basketball is you guys, whether it was under Kevin or under you, always play well together. How does that process work, and how long do you have to do it before you start putting yourself in a hole in the standings because you're still trying to figure things out?
Yeah, you're right. It does have to happen really quickly. I think the good news is we have the summer together. I think those 8 weeks that we get as a group in the summer are so, so valuable. And they were before. I think now in the portal world, it's even more so because you need your players together. You need them gelling early. You need them honestly just spending time without our coaches in the gym. Play pickup with each other, figure out each other's tendencies. At least that's a big part of what we do. We're hands-on as much as we can, but we don't have a lot of time allowed with us per NCAA rules in the summer. So it's getting them together to do activities off the court, to put them in funny situations. Honestly, there are camp counselors, so they're experiencing that together. Just all the time that you get in that off season is incredibly important. That's where we started to see the friendships form a little bit. It was slow going because there were so many new people. And as the summer went on, it got a little better and a little better. But we felt pretty good by the end of summer. We really put out the goal of understanding our offense at a basic level and forming some pretty good friendships. If we can get to that point by the end of summer, we're in a good spot, knowing that we had all fall preseason to continue to practice together, continue to invest time off the floor together. And we knew it was going to take time. We didn't know how long, and of course we always schedule at a really high level in the non-conference too. So we threw some really heavy hitters in there, knowing full well we might not have our identity figured out by that point, but you also can't shy away from it. We need some of those non-conference wins to boost us in case we need the at-large bid. And for seeding purposes, in case we do qualify with the automatic qualifier and still need some help there with the seeding. So we're not going to shy away from tough teams early on, but some of those scores look like they do because we just hadn't quite figured it all out yet. So it's a challenge, but you're just continuing to invest in each other, preach the Green Bay way, preach our culture, and just at some point, I don't know when it just started to click, and little by little, we just kept getting better. And when you're in it for the team, and we always say program over everything. If you're putting that first, you can't go wrong.
What other challenges exist for a mid-major when you're dealing with the NIL and transfer portal era of college athletics?
Yeah, well, we're in the game, we're competing, we're adapting to that style of recruiting now. We have to. I think you have to adapt or you fall behind quickly. And so we are in the mix with all of that. I just think the challenge, of course, at a mid-major level is the NIL dollars from us compared to any type of Power 4 school. And I think that what we've tried to do is keep the emphasis on what a player can achieve here or what they can gain for coming to our program. And that's a great experience. And that might not be more money in your bank account compared to a Power 4 school, but that might be experiencing an NCAA tournament, experiencing climbing up a ladder and cutting down a net. That might be just the community and the fan base investing in you and really caring about you, and you having multiple job offers when you graduate from this place because the whole community wants an athlete and a competitor like you to be a part of their company and their business. And just having a great overall experience is what we've tried to focus on. And that's the challenge. I do think we're in a different world than football. We're still in a different world than men's basketball. Those dollars are not anything that we're seeing, but it is trickling down, and we are seeing some of it. And I think that, honestly, when we go to the portal last year, when we're going to have to go again this year, we're not looking for the people who call us and say, how much can you offer? I don't want to talk about that first. I want to talk about you should want to come here, and we should want you because we're the right fit for each other. This place offers so much more than money could ever offer you. And you're going to remember this experience for life. You're going to have your best friends for life. And I just feel like that investment speaks way more than a check that goes into your bank account every month. So again, I go back to, we have to find the right fit. And there are players who are only looking for that. There are also players who are like, I want to come to Green Bay because I know what I can get out of it. Those are the people that we're looking for.
Makes me wish my kids still play basketball when I listen to you talk. So, Kayla, I'm curious. I sat at a game last year with your father-in-law, and behind me, a few rows, there was a very loud voice that was unhappy with some of the officiating. He was obviously the legendary UWGB coach Kevin Borseth.
I was like, either you're going to say Kevin or you're going to say my husband. One of the two.
I will get to Rick in a second. He was in a different section, I believe. But I am curious, what has it been like? I mean, he coached you. He's such a iconic guy in the program. But what's it been like to have him there as kind of a support system? And then he yells at the officials so you don't have to because he can't get teed up from the stands.
And he still remembers them all by first name. So I think that they can hear him too. So actually, my story goes that I was recruited by Kevin.
Oh, that's right.
I'm from Sheboygan. I had that our whole high school conference played in Green Bay. So I had this great connection with the city of Green Bay early on. He would come watch me a lot. And as I got to know him, thought there's nobody else I would rather play for than this guy. And so I commit to him. But my senior year, as I'm getting ready to come here, he takes the Michigan job. So you kind of get stuck in like, well, am I still going to go there? And they don't have a coach. And I wasn't highly recruited. It's not like I had a lot of options, but you're kind of on hold for a little bit. Then they hire Coach Ballant, and Matt calls me, have a good conversation. I come up here and meet him, and I'm on board. I mean, Green Bay was the place for me. I can't imagine going anywhere else at that point. So I played for Matt for all my 4 years. And that's what I think makes it even more interesting, because I obviously had the desire to go to Green Bay and play for Kevin. And I had always admired his work, and I'd always admired just the person that he was and his knowledge of the game and everything. So he, after 5 years, returns to Green Bay, and we kept in touch. We saw each other out on the road recruiting. It was a great relationship the whole way through. And I had watched his retirement press conference too. And then maybe an hour later, my phone rings and it's Kevin. And I'm like, oh boy, something's happening here. And we start to have these conversations of the Green Bay job. I am thrilled that he's still around and invested. It was a pretty early on conversation after I accepted the job of saying, me telling him, I want you around as much as you want to be around. Now we had to figure that out the first few months. I mean, he is retired, so he does have the option and the freedom to go hunting and fishing, and he should. It's well deserved after all the time he's put in. And he has 3 grandkids now, and his kids are close. He needs to go and do that, but he is very active with us still. He's watching film. He's at practice quite a bit. He's at games in the stands, like you mentioned. He's not doing road trips. You know, that was one of the things. He's like, I'm retired. I'm not sitting on that bus. I'm not. That's fine. He's, I don't know if you want to call it a consultant type of role, but I hate that word because he's just way more of a friend and a great colleague than a consultant would be. I think he's just, what former CEO retires from a company and then says, but I'm coming back. I want to make sure that this place thrives. I want you to do just as well as I did. And most people are like, retired, see you later. I'm going to go somewhere warm. I hope you fail. I hope this place tanks. There's a lot of that out there, no matter it's athletics or otherwise. And I just think it speaks to Kevin's character that he wants to see this place thrive. It's meant so much to him. I mean, this is his baby. And I'm thrilled because, again, I wanted to play for him. How unique and cool is it now that he gets to sit in my office? Okay, I watched film. Here's what I saw. I get to ask him advice, and then I get to go call the shots at the end of the day. I mean, I'm living my dream. I think Kevin is incredibly helpful, and he does it in all the right ways. He's not stepping on my toes. He's not talking over me at practice, even though he probably wants to sometimes because I'm saying things the different way that he would have. I think that what he's doing for us continues to just impact us greatly, and I'm really thankful.
Before we let you go, by the way, great journalism lesson there. you know something, you screw it up and ask the question wrong, and it gets a great answer anyway. That's proof. What I always say, it's not about the question, it's about the answer, because I knew that was the scenario with you and Kevin. All right, speaking of coaches, before we get you ready for the NCAA tournament, you are married to a coach. You have a father-in-law as a coach. I live with a coach. I coached at a much, much lower level. She coaches gymnastics. I coached everything else at a very mediocre level. I am curious, though, what the dynamic is at home when there's two coaches in the house, because Rick obviously had a lot of success as a coach as well. I don't know if he doesn't have a technical title with you, but I know that he probably talks a lot of basketball with you and gives you a respite from basketball when you need one.
I think the title he uses is Director of Household Operations. I think that's the title he likes to use. My father was also a coach, and he coached us all the way through middle school, and he played at UW-Platteville. My brother played at UW-Platteville. There's a lot of basketball in our family and a lot of coaches on both sides. What is it like at home? Yeah, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better coach's husband than the one that I have. This job has a lot of highs and lows. There's a lot of it's in seasons. There's a season of the transfer portal and the stress of roster management. There's the off-season time of summer, and it's all new, and you're kind of you have a little bit more downtime, and then you're back into fall again, and this season begins. Right, it's all in ebbs and flows, and then as the season goes on, you enjoy great wins, and you enjoy really tough losses, and disappointment, and frustration, and all the emotions. And I just think when you have a husband, a spouse who understands that truly. He coached for 10 years on the men's side, has been to multiple NCAA tournaments. He just knows. And there are times when I need a listening ear, I need a hug, I need a shoulder to cry on. And then there's times where I walk in the door and he's like, let's talk about your transition defense. And I'm like, I can't talk about it right now. I've hit my limit. I've been talking about it all day. And he gets that. And we have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old at home. So I think the beautiful part of that is they don't care whether you win or lose. You're still mom. They still love you. After hard losses, now my 6-year-old's starting to get it because he'll hug me and be like, why did you guys lose? And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's a hard one to explain. But most of the time they don't care. And so I walk in the door and it's chaos and fun with little kids for a couple hours to just like step away and get perspective. Then when they go to bed, then the coaching talks come back out again. He's incredibly helpful. He knows the game. He knows the job. He knows the industry. And he even coached here at UW Green Bay. So he knows this place. I'm really thankful to have him, and we're really thankful to have our villages of our parents. Mine are in Sheboygan, his are in Chilton, close by, because we have great support systems on both sides, and it's not always easy. But when you have really good people around you, family is where it starts, your team, your coaches, our community, right? When you have all the right people in place, it makes going through the really hard times worth it, because you can get through on the other side with good people.
And the kids don't have to ask about too many losses either when it comes to your program. All right, Kayla, before we let you go, Selection Sunday is right around the corner here. I know you guys are going to have a watch party of some sort. Obviously, this wildly, incredibly popular show, which your father-in-law got in on early, but lots of other people listen to as well, is popular in Green Bay. So if people want to come out and be there for Selection Sunday or to support the team, what does that look like? What do you guys have going on this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the plan as of right now, and then I'm going to tell you what could happen. So right now, the plan, the show is Sunday night. It's at 7 o'clock Central Time. So what we're going to do is have a watch party at the bar down at Holmgren, and it's free and it's open to the public. Our team will be down there. Doors will be open well before that, but our team will be there for a short program starting about 6 o'clock. There will be some player interviews, coach interviews, some fun stuff where we just get to relive the season and come be a part of that. And then there will be a big screen, obviously, set up so that we can all watch the selection show together starting at 7 and then wait and find out when our name pops up, who and where we will play and when. At that point, we don't know anything before that. The caveat to it is, of course, it's Wisconsin and it's March, and so apparently we're getting this massive snowstorm. And so I just would advise people to follow our social media, because that is the plan right now. And if anything changes, we will alert people on social media, and that's the best we can do. I really hope that our team gets to experience a watch party with tons of fans there, because that's what they deserve. So, but we also have to be safe and be careful. So that's the plan right now. Either way, tune in on Sunday night to see Green Bay pop up.
Kayla, we're so glad that we were able to do this. Obviously, we are a Packers-centric program. It takes a special person and a special program to change that. And you were more than worth our time. We appreciate you doing this. And I can't imagine how happy Dan and Rick are right now tuning in, because I appreciate their loyalty to our show. Good luck in the tournament. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And thank you for supporting women's basketball. We appreciate you making the time for us. That's a big deal. So thank you so much. Go Phoenix.
All right. That is Coach Kayla Karius of UW Green Bay, and they are tournament bound again. I would just say this. I am very biased when it comes to women's sports, with two female athletes and being married to one. There's that T-shirt that says everyone watches women's sports. I am aware that that's not always true. It is not. And there are some folks out there that want more discussion of Javon Hargrave. I understand that. We don't do that kind of thing very often, but I think it was time well spent. And if you, I don't know about you, Gabe, but I am always fascinated by listening to coaches, good ones and not good ones, because I think you learn a lot from being around both of them.
Sure.
You listen to her, and I'll be honest, she reminds me of Jeff Hafley. Like the way she talks about her players and the way she talks about culture. I can imagine why Jeff Hafley interviewed as well as he did and why he got the Dolphins job. I've seen her in action. She's good at what she does. She's great at what she does.
Maybe it's because of my affiliation with Marquette, but I was thinking of Shaka and what he does at Marquette.
Yep.
Now,
Another
obviously,
great
they have a
example.
bigger budget to work with, in terms of drawing players in. But what the thing he talks about the most is the relationships and people that are the right fits. And we got to see that yesterday. Nigel James Jr. named Big East Freshman of the Year, and he announces right then and there, no, I'm not transferring. Like, that never even crossed my mind. Because he has the relationship with Marquette University. And again, that sounds like the relationship she has with their players. Yeah, they probably obviously have a little bit of budget to spend that money, but they want to make sure that the fit is right. And that's how you build the culture, and that's how you end up going to the NCAA tournament in back-to-back years at UW Green Bay.
Well, that was fun. We appreciate her making time for us and making sure that we don't have a whole lot of time for Wonelli, which is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
You asked and Carbless delivered. The fan favorite grapefruit flavor now has its own 4-pack all to itself. That bold, bright, perfectly balanced citrus taste that you've been pulling from the variety pack, it's now front and center in 4 cans, 1 box. Crisp, refreshing, not too sweet, and nothing else has changed. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, just 100 calories and gluten-free. Clean ingredients and big flavor. Always no compromises. Grab the new Carbless grapefruit 4-pack wherever you get your Carbless and find a location near you at drinkcarbless.com. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip.
Watch the Bucks for free with select games on broadcast TV all season long. WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is against Tyler Hero and the Heat in Miami. Tonight at 6 on WMLW-BM.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news, a rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS caused by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a clear plan and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Great clock management means we've only got a couple minutes for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde and Tausch.
Is conference tournament week? Oh, there's Kayla still. I forgot to put myself back up there. All right,
God, she's so dedicated that she's sticking around for Wonelli.
Second segment. Yeah.
That is a still
Get some
photo.
takes out there.
This is not like when the Whitewater head football coach Jace Rindle joined us and was unexpectedly still here 10 minutes
that
later.
That was amazing, actually.
Conference tournaments underway. Today is really the big day if you're a fan of conference tournament college basketball. Every major conference has teams in action. Wisconsin at 1:30 this afternoon, which, by the way, if you want to join the watch party on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, I, along with many other ESPN Madison personalities, going to be watching the game, and you can join us for a second screen experience on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
You had me right up until the point where you said you were on it.
Well, everyone else will be there too, so don't watch for me, watch for the others. Tigers. We're going to have some fun watching the game Wisconsin-Washington with Tausch in attendance at 1:30 this afternoon. Do you believe conference tournament week is actually better than the opening round of the NCAA tournament next week?
I used to be in that camp when the old Big East existed. Like when the old Big East still had Syracuse and like that tournament on ESPN with Billis and Raftery. Because, like, at that point, Bill Raftery didn't do NCAA tournament stuff. Like, it was the best broadcast team. It was the best games. Like, that old Big East, before everything blew up and some of those teams left to go chase more money in different conferences, that was my favorite basketball stretch of the college basketball year. It's kind of gone away from that, and honestly, with some of the talk around if Miami of Ohio doesn't win their conference tournament, they might be out despite winning, 31 games in a row. I'm starting to get more and more out on conference tournaments.
Wait a minute. That was like 2013.
Yeah,
Decade ago.
It's like a decade and a half ago that's been gone.
Yeah, that used to be my favorite part of the college basketball year, man. That was awesome.
Maybe
and they had the 6 overtime game. That 6 overtime game.
The Jerry McNamara year was
oh my
unreal.
God. Yeah, Jerry Mack. Oh.
Yeah, I agree with what you said about the Big East tournament. The rest of the tournaments, though, like I always feel like there's this weird, for years, there's this weird balancing act between win some, but don't play 4 games in 4 days right before you're playing in the NCAA tournament vibe to them. Like as a fan, you kind of don't want your team to do well if it doesn't have to? Am I wrong to view it that way?
No, because there are some thoughts like that out there, right? That, if we get upset in the first round, it's not because basketball can be random sometimes. It's because we played 3 games in 3 days and now we're tired. It's just a built-in excuse for one of those things. Now, I do feel like I feel for programs like GB, like UW Green Bay, because the amount of pressure, as good as you are, like you have to win your conference tournament.
Yes.
Green Bay's not playing in, that's a lot of pressure, and that can be, especially at the lower levels, a lot of fun to see how those teams play under that type of pressure.
So that I agree with, and I want to get out so we get to Rich Eisen on time, and I can brag about that to Tausch. I would add this. I think both conference tournaments and the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament now, I agree with you on the lower level conferences that pressure is on, because those games I do enjoy those. But I feel like with NIL and the transfer portal, like last year was very chalky in the tournament. And one of the things I love about that wall-to-wall basketball Thursday, Friday in the first round were the upsets and the unexpected moments.
Anything could happen, yeah.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel like it's that way anymore. There's a really good story on ESPN.com earlier this week about that. It was very analytical in its approach. I feel like I've lost my love of college. But this used to be my favorite sporting event, was the NCAA tournament. And now I don't feel as passionately about it as I once did. I know it's sad. What is not sad is that the show's almost over, because that means we'll get out on time, sort of, for Rich Eisen. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Amber Wilson.
I don't know off of just last season how you're already out on J.J. McCarthy. The body of work doesn't seem long enough to me. We're not giving patience to these quarterbacks. We're going to extend patience to Kyler Murray, a guy who flamed out in the league in regards to his expectations coming in as a number 1 overall pick. We're going to give him patience in Minnesota, but not the guy that you actually spent your draft pick on. That guy we're going to punt after what we saw in a snippet of a season because we've decided to bring in this other guy who is now being let go at his team that drafted him. This is what we do with these quarterbacks. And I don't think the J.J. McCarthy issue is that he needs a fire under his butt. And so we need to bring in Kyler Murray so there's competition in the locker room. That's not what's going to happen here. What's going to happen here is you bring in Kyler Murray. It's going to crush the confidence of J.J. McCarthy, and it's going to end J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Ben Brust here for the Princely Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princely Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princely Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princely Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
You ever notice that some people are picky when it comes to their beer? But Yuengling gets it. That's why they brew a beer for every taste. Start with a legend, a Yuengling traditional lager, a smooth amber lager that's been around longer than our great football rivalries. Then there's light lager. It's crisp and easy drinking. Golden Pilsner with a clean, refreshing taste, and the Black and Tan, a perfect blend of porter and Pilsner. Whether I'm tailgating, watching the game at a sports bar, or just kicking back, I'm reaching for a Yuengling. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
That's it. It's over. Go home. Thanks to Kayla Karius, but more importantly, as good as she was, thanks to Gabe Neitzel, our cousin sub of the day.
Oh, anytime.
Cousin subs. We believe in better.
Love being here.
I will talk to you tomorrow on your show, and then hopefully on Sunday your flight will depart for Vegas.
I think I'm going to get lucky that I'm flying out of Chicago for this flight, because I think it's not as bad the further south you get. It looks like I just saw a
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tausch here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Get your green and gold off-season fix right here.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I like.
Who's had a day here in Baltimore.
The Rich Eisen Show. Earlier on the show, NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero. Coming up, ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi. Royals first baseman Vinny Pasquantino. And now, it's Rich Eisen.
Hour number 2 of the Rich Eisen Show is on the air. It's all good in our neighborhood. Certainly with Ohio State struggling in their Big Ten championship tournament starter. It's all good. It's early. It's early on. It's early on. It's early on. Because right now they're now up. They were down, now they're up.
That's how basketball goes.
Up and down.
Yeah, it's like a seesaw.
Anyway, March Madness has begun. Joe Lunardi is going to join us in short order. Is he first up to start us off right here? Okay, so I see he's zooming in. He's testing. You know what he's doing? Testing. He's a bracketologist.
Yeah.
Very few people. This is not.
They don't fool around, Rich.
Does he have a green screen behind him? I'm taking a look right now as he's checking in. It's because a meteorologist has a green screen.
Right. So there's a bracketologist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're an ologist, green screen.
It's anything to do with it.
Anything.
Think about geologist.
Green screen.
Proctologist?
Hey. Green screen.
I gotta go.
Brown screen.
Just don't wear brown because you can just blend in.
Your face, floating head.
You see, as you see here, the East bracket.
Think about Joe Lunardi, right? How many people are so singularly connected to one thing?
It's
when
awesome.
you hear Joe Lunardi, you think March Madness, you think brackets.
That's right.
Like, that's connection.
When you think Vinny Pasquantino, you think Italian-American.
Espressos. Then you think home runs.
Home runs.
Team Italy's, 3 Jack, first baseman. Is in hour number 3 of this program.
That's a testament to keeping your head in the game, right? Because Vinny was struggling a little.
By the way, 0 hits in the World Baseball Classic through the first 3 games.
It up, right?
And then when we need him most,
delivered.
He showed his mighty shield, Captain America.
Yeah.
The best of Italy. Oh, baby.
So he beat Capitan?
Yeah.
You thank me, USA.
Let's go.
What do you have to do?
He's the capo di tutti capo. That's what he is.
Said Vinny he said that last night. Oh, I thought you
Rich Eisen Show consigliere. Vinny Pasquantino. Can't wait to talk to Vinny about what he did for Team Italy last night, as well as what he thinks of his New York Jets acquiring Geno Smith. Now,
he seems positive.
I want to revisit this because I gave first blush thoughts.
This was bothering you.
It does bother me.
I hate this team.
This does bother me because Jet fans, you sent me some guy who lost his mind, right? I didn't even watch it.
You didn't?
I didn't.
It was really good.
Whatever.
It was good.
Whatever. And I think people were just like, what does Rich think about Geno Smith? He's going to go all nuts.
Yeah, Rich.
Geno Smith is a great fix for what the Jets need right now. How does that sound?
Rich.
Anybody out there that's like, the Jets are just, they stink. They go back to a guy that crapped out. He crapped out. It just shows you how much they stink. Yeah, This just in, Jets fans. The Jets stink. They know they stink. They're trying to win games now, but no, down the road, the quarterback of their future will be acquired. This is not them saying, we're set. We're ready to win games. We're ready to make a championship run with Geno Smith. Listen, Geno Smith coming back at this part of his career and taking the Jets on a championship run would be one of the greatest stories in the history of the NFL. And would I love to see that happen for the Jets faithful? For sure. Absolutely. Is that likely on a What's More Likely Thursday? The answer is, hold on a second. Hell no. Because he joins a team that is coming off of one of the worst statistical seasons on both sides of the football than anyone can possibly imagine. The fact that the Jets don't have the first overall pick in the draft is maybe one of the most Jets-like things you can imagine. And the reason why they don't have the first overall pick is essentially because of Geno Smith. Because he was on the team that stunk worse. And that is the most Jets-like thing you can imagine, too. That said, what do you want the Jets to do? They have clearly put all their eggs in the 2027 basket. Clearly. Yep. They cut Sauce Gardner loose to the tune of 2 1s, by the way.
Great
2 1s.
Great trade.
2 1s. Thank goodness Chris Ballard didn't have 5 independent doctors in to look at him. Because he got hurt, essentially, almost showing up in Indianapolis. But the Jets got 2 1s out of it. And they got a 1 for Quinnen Williams. But they're like, we don't want it now. We'll take it next year. We'll take it in 2027. For a reason, Jets fans. For a reason. They have 3 1s in next year's draft. For a reason. The quarterback of the future is there. And they have to get somebody here who can calm the waters and is a veteran who can throw the rock. Their games last year where they looked better than not was when Tyrod Taylor was your quarterback. And Geno Smith is a veteran who can come in and calm the waters, just protect them. He's got a better run game this year with Breece Hall than he had last year with Ashton Genty, a rookie. What do you expect? Honestly, when you've got veterans cut loose, Cousins, Tua, soon to be Kyler Murray, and these quarterbacks are searching for their best opportunity to either resurrect a career or win now, what are they going to do? They're going to choose the Jets? They're going to choose, here's what we're going to do. I'm Tua Tagovailoa. Hi, I'm Kyler Murray. I can play for anybody. I can go to a team like, say, Atlanta, where I've got all those weapons and a new head coach in Kevin Stefanski. Or I can go to Minnesota, where there's all those weapons and Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year in his own right. I'm not going to go there. I want to go to the Jets, where the leading receiver had 395 yards receiving last year, despite being Garrett Wilson. That's what I want to do. I want to go there, and I want to go there where there's a head coach who's already apparently maybe on the hot seat because the owner there keeps changing coaches. I want to go there. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And take a look at this. I'm trying to educate and calm the Jet fan down pretty much, right? Hey, did you notice the Jets traded for Geno Smith? Did you notice that? When everybody's expecting Geno's going to get cut by the Raiders, they traded for him. And that sends Jets fans even crazier. They traded for him? Yeah, because even left to his own devices, would Geno Smith have chosen the Jets? Hey, this is what I want to do. I want to go back to the locker room where my career got derailed because my teammate hit me in the jaw and broke it. That's what I want to do, if given my druthers. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I would kind of say he'd survey options before choosing that one. Now he doesn't have that option. And he is saying the right thing. I'm coming back. I can't wait to get in the playbook, the locker room, the community, because he's a good dude. What did you expect, Kyler Murray to choose the Jets? I was saying the Jets should choose Kyler Murray because you get 1 year with him. Would have been a great option for the Jets, but I think they read the tea leaves. What do you want him to do? Now then, I understand, Jets fans. One last thing. I get it. Just to give this for you. As I looked it up, I wanted to make sure this is right. You remember, Geno, year 2, or year 3, gets his jaw broken. And in comes Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? And then Josh McCown and Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields. Those are the leading passers between Smith leaving and coming back. So I get it. This is, again, what I was talking about when the Jets started trading away their young Turks, including Jermaine Johnson, right on the outset of the combine. It's going to be on the Jet front office, management, coaching staff to sell this to the Jet fan, that they're back in this mix again. Because they've gone through all of this churning at the quarterback spot, and they're waiting for their Drake May and or Jaden Daniels and or Caleb Williams and or C.J. Stroud. Even Bryce Young, sorry to say it that way, has shown that he is a playoff quarterback. They're waiting for it. And here's Geno Smith, everybody. It's a tough sell. But, hey, what did you expect them to do? Honestly. So stop posting and sending me all these ranting Jet fans.
Sorry.
No. I'm saying that, not to you, T. No. I'm saying that to everybody out there. I see it. I get it. But what do you want? And if you're sick and tired of the churning and the constant rebuilds and being asked for your patience, choose another team. Be like Del Tufo.
No loyalty.
Perfect.
No honor.
Although the Yankees aren't the Jets.
True.
Yeah. You're a different case. I shouldn't drag you into this. Or people down to your level.
I like that you did that, Rich.
Seriously. What do you want them to do? All right, this smug guy over there.
The jokes just keep
the other smug guy.
You know what I mean?
No, really. Let's just you have two choices. You either trust the general manager to turn all of this around and all like in a way that Joe Douglas couldn't and Terry Bradway couldn't and Izek couldn't. You know what I mean? Or they all attempted. They all started tearing it down and trying to build it back up and telling Jet fans, no, this is the time, it's going to happen. And then they say, here's Geno Smith. I understand why they would be upset, but he's actually what they need. Somebody to calm the waters, try and win games. Try and win them. Just protect him. Protect him. And get a superb defender right off the top of the draft. You've got your choice of anybody not named Fernando Mendoza in the draft. Get that right. And then with the first Sauce Gardner pick, I'll be sitting there on the draft set that night in Pittsburgh saying, okay, this is where the rebuild begins. Right here. This is the pick. They traded away the defensive rookie of the year, not from 8 years ago, not from 12 years ago. This decade. Let's see what they did with this pick for Sauce Gardner. Then the Jets are truly on the clock with the fan base. But Geno Smith, everybody just breathe.
Woosah.
I feel better.
Feel good?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I do.
That was good.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
I
for you.
appreciate
You have a way with words. I don't know if anyone ever told you that.
Ah, you know what?
Well, the Jets bring it out of him.
Sorry, folks.
That was an oldie but a goodie.
It is an oldie but a goodie. This guy over there. All right, let's take a break. You know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about bubbles and who's in and who's out, or who's going to be in and who's out. First 4.
Let's do it.
Last 5. First 16. Middle 12. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all part of bracketology. It is not willy-nilly. It's a science. It's a science.
Yeah.
It's Joe Lunardi's time, people.
Hey.
Let's go.
It's Lunardi season.
Let's go.
Next on The Rich Eisen Show.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Let's celebrate Milwaukee. Ewald Automotive Group's 62-year anniversary sale is on. This month, we're celebrating with anniversary savings on over 1,400 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Payments as low as $250 a month. Financing as low as 0%. Plus, 2 years of included maintenance on us. The Ewald Automotive Group's 62-year anniversary sales event. This month only at every Ewald location.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Select models with approved credit. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University, and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide.
Marquette's season came to a close at Madison Square Garden with an 89-87 loss to Xavier in the Big East tournament opener. The Golden Eagles fought back from a double-digit deficit and tied it late, but couldn't finish the comeback. Sophomore Royce Parham led the way with 22 points and 9 rebounds, battling inside and delivering in key moments, while freshman Nigel James Jr. added 18 points, continuing his strong play down the stretch of the season.
James on a drive to the basket, shoots and scores. Counted in a foul. Unbelievable. We still have 12.4 left. You couldn't ask for it to be that good.
Marquette ends the year 12-20 overall and 7-13 in Big East play.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official bank of Marquette University.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at walneylegal.com.
At Associated Bank, we know it's not always fun thinking about saving. You know what is fun? Not thinking about it. That's why we call it automated savings. You save automatically. How much you want, how often you want, for whatever you want. And if you don't know how much to save, well, that's why we're here. We'll suggest an amount so you hit your target without ever thinking about it. See, saving can be fun, especially when it's automatic. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
See the best of ESPN Milwaukee by subscribing to our YouTube channel.
What the hell happened to your hair? What do you mean? Yeah, the front is fine, but you look like Lloyd Christmas in the back. Right there, just stay still. Oh my God, YouTube.
ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Back here in the Rich Eisen Show.
You were such a hater.
I am not a hater. I'm a congratulator. I congratulate you.
On what?
I'm being excited for Carlos Beltran's uniform retirement ceremony.
That was sincere.
His number.
It was not sincere.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for my brother. I'm happy for my buddy Steve.
You don't like
all
any
you
of
Met
us.
fans who are just trying to get by.
I mean, aren't we all really?
Willie Mays' number's retired by the Mets.
Who else is retired by the Mets?
Should be.
Who else retired?
What?
Who else's number is retired by the Mets?
David Wright is the most recent.
Okay.
Darryl Strawberry.
What's your favorite David Wright moment?
Seaver has to be, right? Man, there's too many. It's Captain America, bro.
Dwight Gooden, Willie Mays, which is kind of ridiculous. Keith Hernandez, Jerry Kuzman, Piazza, Jackie Robinson, obviously, Tom Seaver, Gil Hodges, Casey Stengel.
Okay.
So a good amount.
Oh, gosh. Casey
Not 15.
Stengel. Casey Stengels has his number retired there, huh? Oh, so they took Casey after his years with the Yankees. It's been going on a long time. Long time.
You're beating this to death.
Oh, yeah. Devin Williams and Clay Holmes just following the Casey Stengel footsteps. From the Bronx to Queens.
Isn't it easier, though, Brotman, when you, buy all the good players? Eventually, they do have to go somewhere when you decide that.
Wasn't Joe Torre a Met?
Yeah, before he was. But I brought that up earlier. He conveniently forgets all of them.
All right. No, Yogi Berra was a Yankee, then a Met.
Like Cone, Strawberry, and Gooden helping him win those 90s World Series. He doesn't want to ever talk about that.
Moving on.
You guys are idiots.
Moving on. The ESPN Tournament Challenge is the #1 bracket game in the business. Download the app right now to get started. Create your men's brackets, your women's brackets, because it's time for brackets. And the lead bracketologist, Joe Lunardi, is here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's up, Joe? How are you? Is that a lab
Welcome
coat?
to the bracket room, fellas. Welcome to Dr. Brackett's office. Nothing going on today.
Oh, good to see you, man. How's it going?
I'm good. We just had the 31-0 Miami Redhawks go down, much to the chagrin of bubble teams everywhere.
Well, because, listen, Joe, come on. The conversation that Miami needed to win out to make the tournament, it's absurd. It's absurd, Joe. Come on now.
Well,
come on.
I agree with you, but let's just say there's lots of people that don't, and a lot of them live in the Auburn section of Alabama and the SMU section of Texas and the Bloomington section of Indiana and, other places like that.
Well, okay. So walk me through that, since that is what you just mentioned is, I imagine, a seismic bracketologist moment. Joe.
It is certainly not one we anticipated this early in the Mid-America Conference tournament, but at least they were nice enough to play at 11 o'clock in the morning. So in the East, gives us a little time to digest and crunch the numbers. But, it goes like this. There have been 6 prior undefeated regular season teams, Rich, since seeding began in 1979. And that's according to this bracket brain over my shoulder here.
Yes.
And all of the prior ones have been 1 seeds, not bubble teams, 1 seeds. And that's everything from, Kentucky at 38-0. There was a Gonzaga coming out of COVID. We had Wichita State a few years ago. Heck, we even had my St. Joe's Hawks back in the day. So to say that Miami isn't a 1 seed is one thing. To say they can't be a 10 or an 11 is a pretty big runway of dispute. So I think they'll still be in the tournament. I suppose if the committee is having a bad day or we get other bubble thieves, other bid thieves, Miami could be sent to Dayton for the first 4. That's actually not too far for them. They'd have great fan support. But, at some point, 31-0 has to matter.
No doubt.
Even to a slave to the numbers, like me and other people like me. So I think the people playing, we led with Tournament Challenge. I think they're still going to have a chance to pick Miami in their bracket come Sunday night.
Okay. So walk me through the 1 seeds possibility.
Got it.
I imagine that's where a bracketologist begins, or
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, we have 3 that are all but locked. Duke, Michigan, and Arizona, in whatever order you want to place them. None of them have yet taken the court this week in their conference tournaments. Duke plays tonight against Florida State. Arizona plays in about an hour and a half against UCF. Michigan doesn't get going until tomorrow because the Big Ten is so big. They need all those extra days to get all their teams into the event. They're going to be 1 seeds, and then Florida is the 4th number 1, the defending champions. Terrific back end to the season, recently bumping UConn off of the top line, but still some wiggle room there because the Gators could lose in the SEC tournament, certainly, and UConn can run the table and win the Big East championship in New York, which presumably would include a victory over St. John's in Madison Square Garden. So that would be a feather. But in a way, we're talking a distinction without a difference because one's going to be a 1 seed, the other's going to be a 2. And conceivably, they could even be in the same region, bracketed to meet in an Elite 8 game, in which case we're wasting a lot of airtime over uniform color.
So Duke's going to be the number 1 overall? If they win
unless they lose.
Okay, unless they lose. So
Michigan and Arizona are close enough, and they're playing without 2 rotation guys in the ACC tournament. Caleb Forster has a broken bone in his foot.
Right.
He's been sharing the point guard position with Caden Boozer. And Patrick Ongba has been their top reserve in the front court. He's a big physical presence. But I think Duke is playing the long game here. This is not the tournament they necessarily want to win the most, the ACC tournament, and there's certainly every likelihood that they'll get Gongba back by the NCAAs and maybe even Foster as well if it goes far enough. And I think they're willing to trade being the number 1 overall seed for that possibility because they're still going to be a 1 seed. They're still going to be in the East, and they're still going to start next Thursday, a week from today, in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, and they're also a terrific team, and it make them well coached and make sure that they're all healthy. Make sure to play the long game because the 1 seed will still be there, and so will all the refs. All right, I don't mean to drag you down to my Michigan level, Joe. All right, so
I'll give you one on the Wolverines, though.
Okay, sure.
I think 57 people on ESPN.com at the start of the season picked a national champion, and I counted 2 that picked Michigan.
Okay.
You're talking to one of them?
Okay, Joe Lunardi.
Okay.
So I have to stay on that horse.
All right.
Even after the injury to LJ Kaysen, and that's legitimate. He plays starters minutes, even though he comes off the bench. But they did just go in and win at Michigan State and East Lansing without him. So it certainly gives me every reason to still take UM come next week when we have to make public bracket predictions.
Okay, I appreciate that, Joe Lunardi. I'll put that in my back pocket. Which fan base or fan bases need their schools to go on a run between now and the rest of the weekend in order to make it? Joe.
Well, let's go with Auburn, which just got bumped out of the bracket by Miami of Ohio losing. So that would be one, and that run can begin in about an hour. Stephen Pearl now coaching in his father's spot at Auburn, going against Tennessee, his alma mater, his father's former employer. So no drama, no irony at the SEC tournament. Game being played in Nashville, so college basketball fans everywhere, that's probably the lead game to watch in this next window at 3 o'clock Eastern. I know I'll be watching it. I don't have any idea yet who I'll be rooting for other than whatever scenario makes bracketing easier and give Dr. Brackets here a little bit of sleep.
Did you just refer to yourself in the third person as Dr. Brackets? Did I just hear that, Joe?
Well, I don't consider myself that, but the good folks at ESPN have decided that this is my new character. And I tell everyone that I'm not a real doctor, obviously.
You just play one on TV?
Apparently, I'm playing one on TV, and I suspect that if this isn't a career extender, it absolutely will be a career ender.
Paging Dr. Brackets.
Attaboy.
Paging Dr. Brackets.
Hey, man, I would love to have my own lab coat. I mean, I'll take one.
Oh, it's monogrammed.
I see it.
There you go.
I could see it. Who outside of Auburn? Give me another school that's on the bubble that needs to go on a run. What do you got?
I will, but, you should tell your audience that come a certain age, you do have to visit your bracketologist at least once a year. And there'll be a lot of that going on after the tournament. I'm keeping an eye on the Mountain West.
Okay.
This has been a big Steeler conference in the recent past. They've sent 5, 6, and 4 teams to the tournament in each of the last 3 years. We're talking about the New Mexicos and the San Diego States of the world who typically win that tournament, but Utah State is currently holding the automatic bid. So we could get one of those teams or more getting on a run, taking a bit away from an SMU or a Texas or some other team that loses early in a power conference. We are far from having the final picture of the men's at-large pool here Thursday. I always say Thursday and Friday are the days that give us the pool of teams that we need to make final decisions about on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so last one for you on the men's side of things then, Joe Lunardi. The end of the day, which conference is going to have the most teams in the tournament, do you think?
The SEC will have the most teams at probably 10, followed by the Big Ten with 9, maybe 10, and then 8 each for the Big 12 and the ACC.
Okay. And then on the women's side of things, the 1 seeds, are they apparent to you? South Carolina?
Oh, I can help you with that. Come on.
Go for it.
I just happen to have here in the bunker.
Yes.
I happen to have our women's bracketologist, Charlie Cream, who would be delighted to hear.
Yes. Let's talk women's sports, Joe.
Normally, they don't let us in the same room. It's kind of like the president and the vice president. They don't want us to both be taken out.
Understood.
I am the designated survivor.
All right. So I don't know if he can hear, but...
He can
Okay, let's talk women's bracketology. What do you have for me for the 1 seed on the women's side of things?
Rich, it's pretty locked in now. Right. UConn, UCLA, Texas, and South Carolina in that order will be your 1 seed.
Okay, I mean it's been kind of readily apparent for a while now, but I'm just wondering if there's anything in that you think could upset that apple cart by the end of the day.
No, they're all done playing, so we're good. They're all the big conference tournaments on the women's side were last weekend.
Right.
So they're done. They're resting. They're maybe on the beach somewhere getting ready for next week. But they're done playing, so there's nothing else that can happen.
What do I need to know about the women's bracket then outside of that? Charlie, what do you got for me on the bracketology side of things for the women?
On the women's side, we have essentially 2 bubbles because the top 16 teams get to host first and second round games. So that becomes a very important position to be in. And it's oftentimes a lot harder distinction to make between 16 and 17 than it is between 4 and 5. Right. So we're looking at teams like Kentucky and West Virginia and Michigan State and Oklahoma that are in that mix that we'll have to wait and see till Sunday to see if they actually get to host games or not.
Rich doesn't look at Michigan State.
No, I know they exist. I'm just hunting and pecking to see if Michigan can win it all in both. I'm hunting and pecking for it. Although, listen, we're all fans of UCLA women's hoops here on this show, as well as Women's Sports Now with Corey Close just crushing it in Westwood. But Michigan did come close to UCLA a couple of weeks ago when they visited Ann Arbor. Charlie, and
they played UConn within 3 points earlier in the year as well.
Sure did.
So there's your 2 teams that are probably the favorites, and Michigan's right there with them.
Okay, I'll take it. So that's ESPN.com/TC Women's for the women's bracket. And then you can create your men's bracket at ESPN.com/TC Men's. Make sure you download the app to fill out your brackets today, women's and men tournament challenge on ESPN. All right, gentlemen. By the way, this is great. Lenardi and Cream, was that like
it's the law firm.
Was that the law? Okay, law. I was actually going to go a ventriloquist team from back in the day. Remember that?
Well, I suppose we could open maybe a gastroenterology practice.
Ladies and gentlemen, bracketology is a science. Everyone understand it. Okay. Thank you, Joe Lenardi and Charlie Cream. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it.
There you go. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Fantastic.
Lenardi and Cream, everybody. Fantastic. It's like peaches.
They're opening up for Blue Oyster Cult.
Right?
It feels so good. Opening act for Blue Oyster Cult.
Is that what it was?
Lenardi, yeah.
Lenardi and Cream?
I like that. Peaches and cream, though.
That's it.
I think
I would have said the ESPN people. This is my latest character.
Peaches.
So it shows me. This is my character.
I swear we have a lab.
Great though. That's fun.
Oh no, we did. Feller had one.
The early days, we had Paging Dr. Brockman.
Paging Dr. Brockman.
Did we get to a lab coat?
A lab coat. I think AJ's mom had a lab coat.
Yep. I bought a bunch of lab coats
the early days, and I would put it on and give the injury updates each week.
Do you want to do that again?
It's not going to be as good as Lenardi. That's
Lenardi. Did we?
It was not monogrammed.
Paging Dr. Brockman.
Well, Lenardi won't be doing anything during football. Maybe he might want something to do.
That's true.
Hey, man, the brackets he might be a. Well, I think Heather Dinich is the football college football bracketology, but we don't call it that. Nor does she have a lab coat?
Well, let's fix that.
Okay,
let's get her one.
I don't know if she wants one.
Why would you?
I don't know if Joe wants one.
Who would not want a lab coat?
I want one.
Right?
Right. I'm bringing them in tomorrow. You can wear it.
Let me tell you something. As you know, Bachelor of Arts from the University of Michigan. Master of Science, Journalism. Master of Journalism. It's a science degree. I was MS degree at Northwestern.
Might get a BS degree.
So I am. Yeah. But that was back in grade school.
You graduated.
So
I got
if I ever take another course on broadcasting, I would be Dr.
Eisen.
Rich Eisen.
That's right.
I would be I'm 1 degree shy of being Dr. Rich. I would get a lab coat.
I need you.
And I would walk around in that lab coat. My children would be so embarrassed. I don't care.
I want to call you Doc Eisen, bro. Do it.
Like Jerry Buss.
Yeah. Dr. Jerry. What was he a doctor in?
It was
anatomy.
Sociology?
Anatomy.
I was. EJ beat me to it.
He,
Oh my God! I remember when I first moved out here, and Suze was working covering the Lakers, and she would be finishing. I would come out here.
Anatomy.
We were dating long distance, and I would come out here as a Sports Center when I was on Sports Center, and I would go to Dan Tana's, waiting for her to be finished up downtown, and meet her there. Which is where I met Craig of Craig's Restaurant.
Sure.
At any rate, when he was working there. Long story short is frequently Dr. Buss would already be there. And let's just put it this way. When I walked in my late 20s, early 30s, I brought the median age up.
I was going to say yes. Yes.
The late Dr. Buss, he had a PhD in physical chemistry.
Yeah, I bet.
That's not true. That cannot be true. That is not true.
It is true.
Physical chemistry.
Yeah. He was a chemist. Hold on. He was a chemist for the Bureau of Mines and worked in the aerospace industry.
Okay.
I do remember.
Okay. He's from Wyoming, got his undergrad there and a PhD at USC.
And it worked at winning, so he's good.
Yeah. And then got his fortune, obviously, in real estate. Nothing to do with.
No, I know. I saw the HBO show.
Yeah.
Winning time.
Oh my God!
Physical chemistry.
I mean,
well, I could be a PhD. I'm 1 degree shy.
Rich, you got.
We've talked about this before.
You could do it online.
Yeah, go to the University of Phoenix.
What do I want to do online? I'm working too much, Mike.
Well, you can't go and physically take the classes, so you got to do it online.
It's the truth.
You want to take them for me?
I'll do it.
Oh, do you want that?
We can be co-doctors. I'm doctor.
Co-doctor.
That's how that works, Mike.
I'm the doctor of the mix.
What does that mean?
I mean, I am the doctor.
Could you imagine?
The fact, right?
Could you imagine you're wondering about your health and you see co-doctor Mike?
Don't let me anywhere.
Hi,
near.
everybody.
I'm your co-doctor. Wait a minute, who's the other co-doctor? And then Del Tufo walks in his lab coat.
I'm like the doctor from Cannonball Run.
And Dr. Vinny Boombach
Wasn't there a Marx Brothers movie that we're describing? How are you? I'm your doctor.
Hey.
All right.
Dr.
Let's take a break.
Dr. Vinny Boombach.
We're off the rails.
Oh, my God.
It's the best.
Wow.
What would we have talked about for the last 5 minutes if Lenardi didn't show up in the lab coat?
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on Broadcast Channel 49.1. Our next game is against Tyler Hero and the Heat in Miami. Tonight at 6 on WMLW The M.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Ever more.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. Incredible. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore. Just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin, let's keep this simple. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, thanks for hanging in there. If you believe a beer tastes even better after shoveling the driveway, mowing the lawn, or putting in an honest day's work, well, you're our kind of people. Wisconsin, it's finally here. Yuengling, oldest brewery in America, family owned and operated for 6 generations, and now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
We'll do that again, sure.
Yeah.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway sales event right now. Get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong, because right now you can get great deals on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid. There's the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid 2. There's the bold and stylish Elantra, loaded with the latest tech. You can go all electric, too. The Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9 is there for you on that front. So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details. Mentioned this before. It's time to revisit it. Kellen Moore of the New Orleans Saints, the head coach there, he was being asked about their acquisition of Travis Etienne Jr., and this is the exchange. It's of interest because Alvin Kamara's name got mentioned as potentially being a retiree coming up. Hit it.
Is your expectation right now that Alvin's a part of the team going into this?
Yeah, we'd like to go through that process, certainly, and so we feel obviously we know Alvin means a lot to us. Again, this is we're 3 days in this thing. We've signed Travis, and we'll go through that process.
Is he considering retirement?
I'm not going to get into all that stuff. I haven't had those conversations in any way. So
something's up.
That's not
What's up?
Not a no.
Well, it's also like, what does it mean going through the process either?
Are they Sixers?
Listen, I told you what the signing of Travis Etienne meant, is that Jeremiah's love is not
going
to be there at 8.
Exactly.
And if I'm the Saints, would you use draft capital to go up to get him with all the draft, with all the roster needs you have?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know Jeremiah Love is particularly special, but when you go out and spend the money for Travis Etienne, I mean, that's the end of that. You're not going to then draft a running back. You're not going to say, here's what we're going to do for a team that's rebuilding. We're going to hit that running back spot and just crush it. We're going to get a free agent, and then we're going to use our best draft choice on one. Just not going to do that.
Definitely not.
But Kamara may be retiring.
So that was going to be my question. So what if that's the case?
Well, that's why you signed Travis Etienne for sure, because you know Jeremiah Love's not getting there to 8 anymore. Hell yeah.
Alvin will
sign him.
He'll be 31 at the end of July.
But I don't know look it up. What's his contract? What's his contractual situation? Where they have to go through a process with him. What's the process?
Let's see. He is extended through this year.
Well, that's what it is. And if I'm him, I want more money.
This is the last year of his deal.
Yeah. Now this all makes sense. That's a process. That's what the process is.
He's not making a lot this year, though.
Well, that's again the process. When you're 31 and you can run it like Alvin Kamara, but he's not going to have nearly as many touches when Travis Etienne shows up. So get Travis Steven in the French Quarter.
Bonjour.
With the Florida League.
Je m'appelle.
Yeah, he had signed a 2-year, 24 and a half.
You say it like it's Jamiroquai over there. Jamiroquai.
Virtual. Hey.
It's okay.
He had signed a 2-year, 24.5 extension in 2024. So.
Como talez-vous?
Okay. And then again, we were talking about this the other day when it went Kenneth Walker III, then Etienne. And it's just like, okay. So the teams that's 9th and 8th in the draft order that had Jeremiah Love written all over the place, ascribed to them in pre-combine mock drafts, both of them think Jeremiah Love's not dropping that far. And K9, if you will, Kenneth Walker III, KW3, K9, whatever you want to call him, because that's his number, uniform number. He was introduced today in Kansas City and was asked why he chose the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's a winning culture. Watching over the years, been to plenty of Super Bowls, and, they know how to win. So I feel like it's a great fit for me.
How close was the decision anywhere? Did you really court other teams? Did you have any place else that you really looked at, or was it here?
It was other places I looked at. It was other places, but, it wasn't this is where I want to be.
Yeah, there are other places.
Okay.
There's only one Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't know what his voice sounded like.
I don't talk much.
He just doesn't talk much. I bet you that might be the only time you see him behind that podium.
Yeah.
Right? All year. When's he going to be sitting there behind a podium again?
Brockman, you know this. Real G's move in silence, bro.
Exactly.
Come on.
Like lasagna.
Well, you have to talk. There's difference.
I know. That's a fireman reference.
Speaking of firemen, when you were talking about the Jets, I was wondering what Fireman Ed was thinking about.
Please,
we need to find out his opinion on Geno Smith.
Kareem Hunt is the last 1,000-yard rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
And that's the next one right there.
They spent some high draft capital. Remember, they took Clyde Edwards-Helaire early in that draft.
He was a first-rounder. And that's a 1,000-yard rusher behind the Kansas City Chiefs line. And they are going to give him the rock. And let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens when somebody who can run it like Kenneth Walker, when he's healthy, what he looks like in this offense with Kelsey back and the rest of these guys. What if Carnell Tate winds up there 9th overall? What if that happens? Now you're talking, aren't you?
means nothing if Mahomes is not ready.
He's going to be ready.
I don't know how you can say that.
I just did into this microphone that's right here in front of me.
I think I'd be a little more responsible with that.
Yeah, I mean, you said that Jason Tatum was going to be ready, and we didn't think he was, and now look, he's back.
Is that the first time you've ever accused me of being irresponsible?
I just, someone else's health. That's all I mean.
I understand.
I'm not being, accusatory.
I understand that. I don't have the lab coat.
Right.
I understand.
I don't have a lab coat.
I'm not looking at his.
We're not looking at X-rays.
I'm not looking at his
MRIs.
His MRIs or anything like that.
You know what I mean? I'm not doubting the player.
But I think who we had on Breer said earlier that the expectation is he's going to be there. Kenneth, and by the way, if he needs some time to ramp up, let's do this. Hand it off.
Yeah, that's why it's a perfect signing.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's get a run game and let's commit to it. Let's get Eric Bieniemy figuring that thing out too.
Is Kareem still going to be there? Even better.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Hour number 3. Vinny Pasquantino is going to join us next.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Adam Schefter here. It's tournament time, when only the most talented teams survive and advance. And whether you're cutting down the nets or cutting through resumes, one thing's clear. The best teams are built with the best people. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. Their smart matching technology finds qualified candidates fast. You can add screening questions to get the right applicants and even filter to see who's recently active. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree. And the fence. Not a problem. Because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions. Up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. And you're ready to roll.
The power's out!
Here we go again. The Gator XUV. Built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a deer.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free, so I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do,